I am your host, Camille. And who do I have with me today?
I'm Kate. Kate's D8s on Twitter, and Kate's and D8s on Twitch and Discord.
I am Mindy. I am MKAY1713 on Twitter. And that's it. I am MKAY.
1 second.
And
What? Huh? What's going on?
I don't know what's happening.
Okay, we're good. I think we're good. I'm just getting some feedback from somewhere.
Okay.
I hope it's not me. That would be unfortunate. But if it is, I can just switch back to where I had it before. Okay. Am I good?
I think you are.
Okay. Hi, I'm Kate, aka Very Pale Ale, on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, PlayStation, my life. So,
Everything.
Yeah.
Your parents call you a pale ale.
I have friends that refuse to acknowledge that my name is actually Kate or Caitlin,
That's
and
amazing.
address me only as Pale.
That's very good.
I'm not
Hey, Pale.
exaggerating.
What's up, Pale?
Hey, Pale.
I will answer. I will
Then why do
answer.
they call you
noted.
Very Pale Ale, Kate?
Hmm?
Why do they call you Very Pale Ale?
Because, I call myself Very Pale Ale because I am both very white and very bitter. So.
I just like to hear you say that.
That's why she makes you do it every stream.
Yeah.
Every stream.
Every stream. I'll just add
In
it.
case
at the
people
end.
forgot.
And I'm the Dungeon Master today, Camille. You can find me on Twitter at CamilleDoesDND. That's about it. That's all I'm releasing to the public for now. And today we are playing a one-shot that I wrote called Bad Blood. The setting is winter. The end of winter. In a small town whose location is not important to the story. At a manor house. The lord of the manor is Lord Rhys Abernathy, a man well known in his town as being a philanthropist, of being involved in politics, of having a beautiful, loving family, and more friends than he can count. He also employs a small mercenary army which he uses to clear out the neighboring areas of any monster races, claiming that he's going to protect the borders and eradicate anybody who would threaten the livelihood of the town that this location, or that we're set in today. Towards the end of winter, he is hoping to liven up the dull, dreary season by having a charity ball, in which, if you pay a certain price, you may attend the ball and enjoy festivities, fine wine, amazing food, the best music that would ever reach your ears, and just dance the night away. At his manor, on the south end of town, the charity ball is in full swing. We see ourselves in a massive great hall that extends 3 floors up. If you look up, you can also see that on the second floor, the entire Great Hall is surrounded by a balcony in which onlookers who do not wish to dance or eat at the moment lean against the rails and gossip among themselves. On the third floor, there is one railing on the south side, which nobody is on right now. On the floor level, there is, in the northeast corner, a long table that is shaped like an L, at which the head is Lord Rhys Abernathy. Directly next to him is his wife Liliana. And on the other side, you see an assortment of nobility and guests. One of the most interesting being a half-orc woman who has copious amounts of powder and makeup on her face and a massive white wig that extends about 2 feet into the air. She swears that her green skin, it's not green, it's just she has a skin condition, and that's why she travels. She's really a half-elf, you know. It's a terrible thing. She travels to get fresh air. She has her manservant, a bald tabaxi, next to her, named Fleeb, who attends her every will. There are, I would say, about 30 people in this ballroom. And the music picks up. Everybody on the dance floor is dancing, having a good time, and as the song ends, there's a light clap. And from the west side, servants begin to file out with the main course for dinner. Everybody is encouraged to take their seats, get their glass of wine, prepare themselves for the main course. And Lord Rhys Abernathy stands up and starts to give his speech, his wine goblet in hand. He licks his lips. They're a little dry, so he takes a big sip of his wine. And he sets it back right here. And he says, "Together, we will do great things. We will build a wall between us and those miscreants that threaten our safety. We will eradicate the monsters in the sewage underneath the city. We will be safe thanks to your charitable donations. I would like to thank a few of my honored guests, my children, Moira, Malcolm, and Marianne, as well as my lovely wife, Liliana. Thank you, everybody, so much for... Thank you, everybody, so much. Excuse me. And he starts to turn around. And as soon as he does, you watch his form begin to crumple and seize and shake as white foam comes dripping out of his mouth. Liliana screams, "Oh no, Rhys, what's happening? Somebody help! Somebody get a cleric!" And before anybody can get to him, Lord Rhys Abernathy is dead. A few of his select guards come running up. There's about 6 of them in this main hall, and they study him. A doctor rushes over, begins to look at what's happened. No healing spells bring him back, but they determine that the method of death was, in fact, poison. A fast-acting poison that could have only happened at this event, meaning that his murderer is in the room. Immediately, all of the doors to the castle are locked. And an elderly gentleman, which some of you might know as the captain of the guard, Charles, stands by where the bards were playing, and he says, "No one leaves this estate until we have our murderer in hand. If anybody has any information, come forward immediately. Otherwise, well, do as you wish. We will be bringing in an investigator to question you all individually. Carry on." And he steps away. Kate, what are you doing?
Which one?
Oh gosh. Blue hair Kate, what are you doing?
Yeah. As soon as I see my father, start to fall, I'm, pushing back my chair. I'm going over to him and trying to help him, and obviously nothing works. Liliana is losing her head, so I'm going to, put on my diplomat face, and I'm going to be like, I'm going to be essentially the woman of the house until Liliana gets her shit together. So my first point of order is really kind of to ascertain, I know it was poison, obviously, but I would like to look at the cup that he drank from, and I want to take a look at it and see if I can identify kind of what poison might be in there.
Okay. So go ahead and roll an investigation check.
Okay. Oh, I should have probably gotten out my dice, before we went live. But...
While you're getting out your dice, do you want to describe your character?
Yes. So Moira is a human. Oh, there we go. Okay. Moira is a human, and she's about as pale as I am. Her hair is dark and curly. It's like raven black, and she's super pale. And she's got like almost like an ochre brown eye, but like in a pretty way. I never considered ochre a pretty color, but I guess they're pretty in this scenario. I don't know.
It's D&D. Anything can happen.
It's D&D. Ochre's pretty. It's fine. And so she's wearing, kind of because she's not like the mistress of the house, and she's not really the hostess per se. She's not wearing anything particularly, anything that would stand out. She's wearing a very nice, like a lavender, the best way to describe it is like, it's called a robe anglaise, and it's got a fitted bodice, kind of like 3/4 length sleeves, and on the back is kind of like an attached cape that trails to the floor. So instead of having a train on her skirt, the cape becomes the train, and that's what she's wearing.
Perfect.
Yeah, she's great. All right, so I'm going to make my investigation check now. That's a natural 18 plus investigation, which is a +4, so 22.
So I wouldn't necessarily say that you are proficient in poisons, given the life that you have led.
Probably not.
However, you sniff the cup and you tell it was odorless. It didn't smell like anything other than wine. So whatever it was either did not have a smell or was masked by the wine. And it's very strong wine. You notice it's a different wine than everybody else was drinking. His very special brand that only he is allowed to have. And he only took a few, maybe 4 or 5 sips. The rest is splashed onto the ground after he dropped the cup. Mm-hmm. So it was a very high dosage. Whoever did this did not hesitate.
No. Okay. Excuse me, I'm gonna cough.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm getting over a lung infection, y'all. It's gonna happen a lot. I'm so sorry. Cool. All right. Well, I'm gonna keep that in the back of my mind, and then I'm going to kind of look around the room, see if anyone is being particularly suspicious.
Okay. Make a perception check.
Cool. It's a natural 6.
Everybody looks a little suspicious right now. Everybody looks alarmed. They look like nobody is touching any wine. Nobody is drinking anything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They refuse.
Not eating
So
nothing.
while this is going on, Caitlin, what are you
Where
doing?
would I have been sitting at the table in comparison to Moira and the now deceased?
So interestingly
Yes.
enough, it's the Lord, and then there's the two elves go catty corner from him.
Okay.
Moira was to his left. Liliana was to his right. The rest of his children were beside Moira. You would have been directly next to Liliana.
Okay. See, now that you coughed, I have to cough.
I don't have to cough.
Mutual lungs, right?
Your poor
Yeah.
lungs.
So I was next to Liliana, and as she started shrieking, I would have stood up immediately and been very, very concerned, very shocked, and looked like I didn't know what to do. Took a step forward, but then as everyone else was rushing in, very, very much I don't know what to do with my hands. Very unsure of where I stood with everything, and just kind of watched as everything happened, very concerned, not quite sure how I could help.
Can you make a charisma check for me?
Absolutely.
And which charisma-based skills are you proficient in?
I am proficient in performance.
Okay.
I'm proficient in performance. So I don't need to persuade. My performance is persuasion enough.
That's fine.
It's a 12 plus my charisma, just straight charisma check. 16.
Okay. No one seems to really pay you too much attention. All of the focus is on Lord Reese Abernathy and Liliana trying to calm her down. You kind of take a step back. You feel the stone wall against your back, and there's a pillar. So the entire hall is a rectangular room, and there are. Let me pull out my handy dandy map. And there are roughly, I would say, 5 pillars on the short walls and 6 pillars on the long walls, just kind of marking the pillar-like structures and going all the way up to the 3rd floor. And you feel one hit your back. It's very cold as the servants are rushing by you and everybody's trying to figure out what's going on. Mindy.
I've got my hand to my throat and I seem very concerned.
Can we get a description for Caitlin's character?
Yes.
Sure. I am a human, very, very willowy, very fair features, not fair in complexion. I'm very tanned. Definitely seem almost excessively tanned, but that's because that I am a landscape artist, so I spend a lot of time outside. I have very high cheekbones, very defined jawline. My hair is up in a artfully messy, but still very intentionally done, sort of a I don't know how to pronounce it. I know how to spell it, but I don't know how to pronounce it. But a very fancy updo with a few flowers in it. And I'm wearing a very long, very flowy, lots of God, I'm forgetting all of the fancy fabric words that I know. But it's very, very flowy, very, very loose. And it's in different shades of greens with a little bit of blue in there. Very delicate jewelry. The resident artist, so I need to look artful, but I am very willowy and probably like 5'10". So
Thanks.
Perfect. And Mindy, what are you doing?
So where would I have been sitting? I imagine not nearly as close.
No, not nearly as close.
As the family and fancy painter.
You would be probably at the very far end on the right side, since you are not incredibly well known in this town for being just kind of, you are not nobility, you are not of high stature, you just kind of have some money, and you bought your ticket just like everybody else.
Okay, so when this all first starts happening, I look like just kind of really confused at first, and I'm kind of looking around at the people around me, like is this a joke? Is this a? But when he actually falls and Liliana starts freaking out, I'm going to still kind of just watching from it because I can't really see. I'm imagining there's a fair amount of distance. And as people start to gather, I think I will naturally be led to kind of follow and try to see what's going on. And once it is clear that he is dead, I'm gonna like do a quick scan of the room to see if there's any interesting reactions other than surprise.
Roll for insight. Is he dead? Are we sure he's dead?
Oh,
Have we checked?
the wedding's back on. That will be a investigation, insight. I had the wrong N word. 20.
Okay. So Liliana's obviously losing her shit.
Okay.
However, with that roll, you might detect a little bit of drama, a little bit of overacting.
Shocking.
From the 3 children, the oldest does not look entirely as upset as maybe you might expect the oldest daughter to be.
Is that Moira?
That is
Yeah,
Moira.
that's me.
A few of the other members of the charity ball are in shock, but most of them seem horrified that a man this wealthy and prolific and philanthropic, that's a word.
Philanthropic.
Philanthropic. I put the emphasis on the wrong syllable.
It's fine. We knew what you meant.
Oh, yep.
And
My family says that. Sorry.
there are a few people who maybe aren't quite as horrified as they should be. Maybe one of them is the painter.
This is not helping.
All a formality. We all know I did it.
Kate did it. Not Kate's character. Kate.
Me.
And as you look around the room and you start to try and figure out who did it, you see a guard staring right back at you. And he starts, go ahead.
No, I just scan right past.
He approaches. You probably recognize this as one of the newer guards. His name is Kel. He approaches slowly and he says, Madam, he's like looking at a piece of paper.
Van.
Madam Van, would you kindly join me in this room for questioning?
Yes, fine. I go.
He takes you out of this formal dining room out of this great hall into a dining room that looks more like where they eat when they are not entertaining a million guests. It's still very fancy. It does not feel very homey, but it's you could tell it's for a smaller setting of about 4 or 5.
I'm glancing over my shoulder as though I don't want to miss any of the drama.
Make a perception check.
Perception?
Disgrace.
That'll be a 9 on perception. Oh wait, no. No.
Math
Yeah,
is
no.
hard.
I can't do things.
It's not like you like.
No, it's
those
still
people.
it's 9.
It's still a
perception.
9.
Yeah. Yes.
And so he leads you inside and you peek back over your shoulder and he kind of like blocks your way.
It's very rude.
Madam Van,
Yes.
is there anything you wish to tell me?
What do you mean?
Is there anything you'd like to get off your chest?
Is this an accusation?
This is a question.
Strange. It feels very much like an accusation.
I'm asking if you know anything about anyone that... Wow, I just started to copy your accent. Whew.
I do that all the time.
Sorry.
It's so obnoxious.
I will not apologize.
Let's just... We'll all be Jester. It's fine.
Okay, yay!
Wow, I'm a terrible mimic. Okay. I'm asking if you know anything about anyone who might have a reason to harm the Lord Abernathy.
Why would anyone want to harm him? He's done such good for the city.
You are not wrong, but a man cannot do this much good without rubbing a few people the wrong way.
But perhaps those are the people you should be seeking.
Has Lord Abernathy rubbed you the wrong way?
I have minimal contacts with the man. I come to his charity events to contribute what I can to the cause, but other than that, I have not had the honor of meeting him. I don't know how to use my words.
Face to face?
Meeting him face to face on more than maybe one occasion. It is unlikely he even knows my name.
You still haven't answered the question. Do you have any reason to wish ill will on Lord Abernathy?
Of course not.
Make a deception check.
Is it deception?
Mm-hmm.
That'll be a 16.
All right, well, my name is Kel. And you seem to be the kind... Let's just say I think I recognize you from a certain circle.
No. What circle might that be?
The kind that is more likely to have secrets. I say this because I would like to enlist your help. The captain of the guard has a short list of who he thinks could have committed this murder. If you help me find the real murder, I will take your name from it.
Do I get to know the names on this list?
Make a persuasion check.
Okay. 22.
I will tell you a few names. The first of which, of course, is his dearly beloved wife, Liliana.
Why would she have reason to murder her husband?
Why does any woman have reason to murder her husband? Maybe he's a terrible lay, maybe he is an asshole, I don't know.
Fair. Other names? This would give me a place to start. I will gladly help you find information. But in order for me to help you, you have to help me.
I tell you what. If you bring me back information that I can use, I will tell you the next name on the list. Or if you bring me back another name that we should investigate, then I will give you 2 names. While this is happening, you're not in the big room. Liliana turns to Bobby, eyes wide, tears streaming down, her mascara is running down her face. You! This is your fault!
That's cute.
How far am I? Like I backed up.
Mm-hmm.
How far am I compared? Like
She's like 10 feet from you. She's like screaming and pointing at you, and ever since you came into our lives, you've caused nothing but trouble. My husband has been obsessed with you. This is your fault.
I'm gonna go up to Liliana, and I'm going to try and placate her. I'm using all of my diplomatic abilities to be like, this, you're extremely emotional. I completely understand this is awful. This is not the time to be pointing fingers without due cause, Liliana.
Make a persuasion check. Make a calm her down check.
Check yourself.
Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
You said persuasion?
Yeah.
Sweet. That is a natural 19 plus 5, so 24.
Okay, she starts to... You take a big breath in front of her.
Out.
And she starts to try and do the same. She's still crying. She's still a disaster. Her hair is everywhere.
I'm like...
I'm just so upset. I can't believe anybody would do this to my dear Reese Poo.
Wow, I hate this all of a sudden. I suddenly don't want to do it. Inside, I'm shuddering. Like, this is
Make
the
a
worst.
Constitution saving throw so you don't throw up. I'm just kidding. You don't
Oh. No, but really.
It's fine.
I wanted her to roll a 1 so bad.
Oh man, I was actually kind of hoping for one as well. Just vomit on her.
That would have
Are
made
you
them
poisoned too? Oh my god! Moira! Somebody get a doctor! Alright, Recon. Okay, well, I think I'm gonna have a fit. I think I need to go have a lie down.
I'm going to kind of gesture at Charles to like bring a guard over and to escort Liliana out of the room.
Okay. A guard does escort her out. This guard's name is Don. He is the second in command here.
Okay.
And he leads her, you see he leads her back out into the entrance hall and then up the flight of stairs. You know that's where your father's room is.
Okay.
But now all eyes are on Bobby.
Yeah, I'm actually also going to turn towards Bobby and be like,
Hurry, paint something real fast.
paint your way out of this.
I'm still looking very, very distressed and in shock that she would suddenly turn to me, and I just kind of wring my hands a little bit, and I take some quiet steps over to Moira, and I'm so sorry to be causing any extra distress to your family. I is there anything that I can do? Is there anything?
Moira, like, physically takes a second, like, also takes a deep breath to, like, calm herself down and looks at her, and she goes, I don't think there's anything you can assist with right now, Bobby, but I think it's in everyone's best interest to cooperate with the investigation.
Absolutely.
And to figure out who murdered my father. This is unacceptable, and they will pay for it.
Absolutely. Anything that I can do. Just say the word.
At this time, as you see, as Moira and Bobby are having this conversation, that is when you come back out, Vanelise, and you kind of see the aftermath of this, and Liliana is led right by you, tears streak down her face.
I'm going to find...
Oh, I will say you do hear whispers from... They're not very quieted whispers from Mrs. Ponderbottom, the half-orc.
Ponderbottom!
I'm guessing that's the half-orc.
Duchess Anastasia Ponderbottom.
How would you insult the actual Duchess Anastasia's good name like this? How could
That
you?
is... She's my favorite now.
I love her.
She did it.
Yep, it's all her fault.
She's talking to her manservant, Phlebe. She says, "Dear Lord, I cannot believe this. the painter. Can you believe that she would poison? He's done so much for her. I thought he's given her so much money and, job security, and, he's very protective of her. He does not let her paint for anyone else.
Am I walking past her?
You would be walking kind of at the same direction. She's just meandering about. She's just taking a walk about to get, there's some fresh air. Maybe we'll just go out to the courtyard. You're just walking by her, and so you catch a pretty good amount, and then you surpass her.
Okay, I will.
And her manservant goes, yes, mistress. Whatever you say, mistress. It's very all unfortunate, mistress.
Love him.
Yeah, he's my favorite. I like him.
Throw that in my brain. And then I'm going to continue walking towards the illustrious painter and eldest daughter.
Oh, and did you describe yourself already?
I didn't. I realized it, and then I was like, I don't know when a good place to do that would be. So, Van is an Air Genasi. So she has a pale blue skin with white hair that has just a hint of blue in it. Her eyes are a very, very pale shade of blue. She is wearing. She also has a silver nose ring because, sometimes it'd be that way. She has dark blue markings on her face, very simple. And she is wearing a dark blue gown to kind of accentuate. She's just a whole bunch of blue.
Perfect.
Is that good?
Yeah, that was perfect.
Yeah.
So, as you walk past the Duchess.
Oh, the Duchess, yes.
Duchess Ponderbottom.
Ponderbottom.
That's what you hear.
What a name. Okay. I'm going to stow that away in my brain. But I'm going to continue to the illustrious painter and the eldest daughter.
Okay.
And I'm going to try to size up their interaction before I say anything.
Moira, how are you looking right now?
Moira, as the eldest daughter, takes a lot of pride in maintaining the house and making sure everything is run smoothly. So she tends to have dark circles under her eyes, and she tends to look pretty tired because Liliana does nothing. And she's looking particularly taxed. You would have to look really, really hard to see that she's genuinely upset by this, or she could seem genuinely upset by this. But currently, she just looks very tired.
And how does Bobby look right now?
Bobby looks very distressed. She was distressed before, but then having the lady of the house very openly and obviously accuse her of this murder, she's very distressed. You can tell her eyes are wet. There are no tears, but there's her eyes are clearly wet, and she just looks concerned and distraught, and a little lost in all of this.
Aren't we all?
Yes.
So yeah, this is what you see as you approach.
I'm going to step towards Moira first. Lady Moira, this is obviously a very difficult night for you. Perhaps you should have a seat for a moment.
I'm afraid if I sit down, I won't get back up. I'd rather stand, thank you.
I turn to Bobby. The allegations. They say that you killed him.
She's just... I can't even imagine what she must be going through right now. We didn't see eye to eye on many things, but
I would
They-
imagine.
they've been so good to me, and
They have been good to the city. It is very strange that anyone would target such an illustrious man, such a good man. But you know more of the family than I. Do you know of anyone who would have reason to kill
no,
such? No one.
it was his. As far as I'm aware, his children love him. He was devastated by the loss of his wife, and then Liliana has come and brought light back to the home again. And I'm here to immortalize it all, and I just I feel I it's inconceivable.
I step a bit closer, and I lower my voice. It is inconceivable, and yet it is as it is. Are you sure you know nothing of anybody, perhaps business, the people that he worked with?
I you are mistaking the involvement I had in the house. I was simply the family artist. I did portraits. Every once in a while, he would say, "I'm thinking of a scene," and then I would bring the scene to life.
But he trusted you, did he not?
Not with what you're assuming, but I will put a hand on your shoulder and just kind of gently. I won't force you anywhere, but I would just gently lead you a little bit away from the table, and I will lower my voice a little bit more, and I'll say, I would hesitate to slander anyone, especially since I don't know the entire story. But I do know, and this is probably isn't much. And I'm sorry if this doesn't help at all. But I do know that Moira found something, and it was something that she was very upset about.
Do you have any idea what it was that she found?
Again, this is something involving what happened to her mother. Possibly that it wasn't an accident like everyone believes it to be. Or was it sickness? God, I don't remember which one it actually was.
It was an allergic reaction.
Allergic reaction. So, but again, I didn't pursue any of it because this is none of my business. I'm only here to paint. But if that helps at all, then well, I hope it helps.
I will investigate this and see if it leads to anything. I know that you had a close relationship with Lord Abernathy.
I have close relationships with many people that I paint for. It's not anything particularly out of the ordinary.
Well,
Moira wants to try and listen on the conversation while this is happening.
Okay, first I need Bobby to make a stealth check.
Oh shit. Okay. Ooh, well, maybe. 15.
And then I need Moira to make a perception check.
It's real high. No. 6.
No, you did not hear it, unfortunately.
Yeah, figured not. I have my suspicions, and I'm just going to keep them to myself and busy myself trying to placate the other guests and trying to keep Duchess Ponderbottom from going out into the courtyard and Weaver's
Lord.
instructed to stay in this room.
So I will say you are allowed to go out into the courtyard to get some fresh air. You are allowed to go elsewhere in the castle. You just may not leave the castle.
Oh, the estate. That's right.
Yes, you're not allowed to leave the estate.
That's right. All right. Well, then I'm going. Duchess Ponderbottom screwed with one of our bushes last time she was here, so I'm going to go keep an eye on her.
Okay. Suspiciously, at the end of your conversation, Moira gets up and promptly walks to the courtyard.
I reach for Bobby's hand. I squeeze it gently and I say, "Excuse me." And I'm going to try to follow at a distance. I'm just kind of keeping an eye out. I'm just trying to see where she's going.
Make a stealth check?
Then I should probably make a perception check.
What's your passive?
Is my passive? Let's find out. 14.
17.
Yeah, you don't notice her. There's a lot of people walking around. Some people are looking at you. A lot of people are looking at you, Moira, but no one seems to be looking at you, Vanelise.
All right. I'm going to go out and make sure that I hate saying her name. I hate it so much, Camille. This is the worst.
Ponderbottom.
I hate
for
it.
you.
Thank you.
Her name's Anastasia.
Okay.
Anastasia Ponderbottom.
But see, I think of a really nice movie if I say Duchess Anastasia, and that's not who this woman is, and I'm very mad about it.
Solid movie.
Such a good movie. So I'm going to make sure she's not mucking up anything, and if I see a couple guards out in the courtyard, I'm just going to kind of leave her be, and I'm actually going to make my way to the estate's library.
Okay. Can you repeat that? You're a little bit quiet.
I'm so sorry. I thought I turned my gain up. Is that better?
A little bit. Can you pull your mic maybe a little closer?
Yeah, I can do that. I'm also just sick, and my voice is pretty much gone.
Get some throat coat.
I have. Hang on. All right, is that better?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm going to make my way to the library after making sure that there are a couple guards in the courtyard and they're keeping an eye on the Duchess.
Yes, there are a couple guards in the courtyard. They're maintaining. There's a guard at every exit, so that nobody can slip by.
And I'm going to make my way across like one of those like uncovered hall. It was a covered hallway. It's like an outside hallway. It's really weird to describe, but it's like it touches a wall and then there's an arch and then like you can still see the courtyard the entire time you're walking. But
Yeah.
walking
Yeah.
the perimeter of the courtyard essentially.
So that would take you essentially to the temple, and from there you could get to the stairs to get up to the library. Library's
Okay.
on the second floor.
Yeah, I'm going to bypass the temple entirely. For now, maybe. I might have one of the guards bring my father's body to the temple later. We'll see.
Right. Do you follow, Vanelise?
I'm going to follow her. But if there are any, is there anything else that we will pass before we get to the library besides the temple?
You'll go to the temple, and then from there you'll go to the front hall, and then back to the entrance hall, and then up the staircase. It looks a little bit like this.
Ooh.
Can you see it?
I do.
I'm going to make your picture bigger.
Yeah, me too. Except hold on a second, because I haven't been able to make your picture bigger. Oh, okay.
That looks lovely.
That's lovely.
So you guys here's the courtyard right here. And then here's the temple, and then you go to the hallway, and then up the stairs right there.
Cool.
Okay.
And then once you guys get up to the second floor, you come up this way, and the library is right. Yes.
Yeah.
Right there.
Perfect.
And then you
My
guys can see this is
paintings are-
like the balcony
Mm,
that overlooks that great hall.
cool.
My paintings are everywhere
Oh yeah.
inside.
As you walk up the stairs individually, at a reasonable distance, you do see that nearly every painting except for maybe the ones of former lords, are signed Bobby Ross.
Are they happy little trees?
They are.
They probably have friends.
Probably do.
Lots.
I'm going to follow. Yes, I'm going to follow her into the library.
Okay.
I'm not trying to be sneaky now.
Okay.
I'm just following her. I actually would probably try to make some kind of sound so I don't startle her.
Great. Bobby, what are you doing during this time? Bobby.
Me? I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
What are you doing during this time?
I will remain in the Great Hall for a little bit. Just talking to a few people. Going over the sudden grief of it and the shock and everything.
You notice that after Liliana's accusation, people are not inclined to speak to you. They make polite conversation and then they, do that thing where they kind of just
Gently.
I'm very resigned to it. My conversation skills aren't quite what they used to be. Don't get out very much. So I will, after the third or fourth attempt at conversation, I will probably leave and I'll go outside.
Okay.
So
You do catch the tail end of Vanelise walking into the temple.
She didn't walk into the temple, did she? She was
She
following
followed
me.
you into the temple. So
Through
through the
the temple.
courtyard, you
Oh,
go
right,
into the
right.
temple,
Sorry,
and then you
sorry.
go to the
Yes.
hallway.
Yes.
I'll consider it for a second, but I will find a corner that is not occupied by the good Duchess Ponderbottom, and I will kind of sit with the flowers for a little bit.
Okay. As you do, a guard approaches you. It is Will. He has always been very nice to you. He's in his early 20s, has a little bit of a crush on you. But you've turned down every single one of his advances because of reasons. And he has a sheepish look on his face as he comes up, kind of hands twisting. And he says, Madam Bobby, I'm here to tell you that the investigator has arrived and she would like to speak to you.
Of course she would. Thank you, Will.
Okay. Will you follow me, please?
Yes. And I will stand up and I will follow him.
So everybody watches as you follow this guard across the courtyard, back into the Great Hall, into the main city, or to the parlor room, essentially. And they take you past this grand dining room that they had brought Vanelise to, and into an even smaller room, which you would know to be the study, or a parlor, like a sitting room.
Okay.
And in there, in a dark black dress that goes down to her heels, her sharp stiletto heels, with a blue long cut bob that's dark at the roots and light blue at the tips. Kind of pale skinned, wearing a pink pendant. She kind of regards you. Bobby Ross, do you know who I am?
Do I?
Make a history check.
Ooh. 20.
20?
Mm-hmm. Not natural.
This is Serena Delaney. She's got a much longer name, but you don't remember it. She
Okay.
is the oldest daughter of the first Lord of Asburin, Theodore.
Okay. Okay. Um, I know of you, Miss Serena.
It's Serena's fine. I'm the investigator that's assigned to this case. I'd just like to ask you a few questions.
Of course. Of course.
Guards, you may leave. They walk out. As they walk out, her composure relaxes. Miss Ross,
Yes.
let us make a promise to each other right now that neither of us will play dumb.
Of course.
Let me just start by saying I don't think that you killed the Lord Rhys Abernathy, but I know that you were having an affair with him.
That wasn't a very big secret. I have affairs with lots of people. Bitch. Kind of comes with the territory. Honestly.
Does it?
Miss Ross, do you know who would want to kill Lord Rhys Abernathy?
Going to be, well, you asked that I be frank. I will be frank. I minded my business in this place. It was interesting at first, but then it gets old after a while, and you know, I love changes of scenery, so it's been a bit difficult, but I mind my business. I don't meddle in any affairs that aren't my own. But I will say that apparently the oldest daughter found something that she did not like very recently.
Let's talk more about that. What did she find?
Well, I happen to know what she found because I also found it. Bless you.
Bless you.
Excuse me. It's allergy season, you know.
It is. It really is.
And what is it that you also found?
Well, I found a journal of the late Mrs. Abernathy.
Mercy Abernathy.
Yes, I never knew her, but by all accounts, she was a wonderful woman.
I knew her personally.
Well, I hope then that the accounts were true. But there was a journal, and I read it, and I promptly put it back because it is none of my business.
Did you put it
After
back?
I read it, of course. I'm sorry?
Did you put it back?
Apparently not.
The gods have told me no.
Remember
that's
sadly that I did not put it back.
And what did you do with it? Do you have it on your person?
Of course not.
Are you
What
lying?
an idiot. I'm sorry?
Are you lying to me?
No.
All right. What did this journal say that has you convinced that Moira would want to kill her own father?
Well, it was all very boring until it wasn't.
Naturally.
Apparently, Miss Mercy,
Lady
we-
Mercy.
I'm sorry?
Lady.
Lady Mercy. Pardon me. Apparently, Lady Mercy started to have suspicions that Lord Abernathy was not quite as well. Obviously, he wasn't as devoted as he seems. Obviously, but apparently, he had some negative intentions towards Lady Mercy. at one
Why
point.
would he have that? Rumor has it that he absolutely adored her. He had her buried in a sarcophagi beneath the castle in her own chamber.
That's what I thought. But apparently she knew about things that were going on below the castle.
What kind of thing is going on below the castle?
She didn't say, and that was very disappointing. You never bury the details. If you explain something, you have to continue. But, happy accidents happen all the time.
Make a persuasion check.
Oof. 16.
Okay.
16.
She seems to believe you.
Okay.
Under the castle. Have you ever been under the castle, Miss Ross?
That's one place I'm not allowed to go.
Well, technically, the person who gave you that order, I'm assuming was Lord Rhys Abernathy, is deceased. And
very
to
true.
my knowledge, the only place you're not allowed to go is outside of the estate.
Yes.
Perhaps maybe if you had someone to go with you who knew the castle like their own home. It's none of my business. I have a lot of people to question today, so I think that will be all, Miss Ross.
Okay. Well, I'm sure that, everything that has been said possibly remains in the room.
But I do have a question, Miss Ross.
Yes?
Is it true that you're not allowed to paint for anyone else or ever leave?
It is true that in the contract, while I am employed by him, I am employed solely by him.
That must be terribly suffocating for an artist like yourself.
It does tend to chafe a little bit, yes. But
How long has it been? 5 years?
has it been that long? Yes, well, luckily for me, there's plenty of beauty in the area to remain inspired by.
Well, as I said, Miss Ross, that is all. I'll find you if I need anything else.
Of course.
She kind of...
I will bow appropriately and leave.
While this is happening, Vanelise has entered the library with Moira.
When Vanelise first makes her presence known, Moira initially is going to turn to look at her like, why the hell are you here? But she's kind of on a mission at this point. Like, she is desperate to find this journal. This is the one thing that could make or break this case. That was where her mind went almost immediately, is I have to get that journal. It has to be somewhere. So she's literally just going to go straight to the journals and literally one by one take them off the shelves, almost in a frenzy. She's normally pretty composed and put together because she has to be, but away from crying eyes, she almost forgets Vanelise is there, honestly.
I'm going to approach very slowly. Lady Moira. Oh, I changed accents. My bad. Dang it!
I mean, literally all the time.
I don't know what's going on. Lady Moira.
She gives just,
Is there something you are looking for?
My mother kept journals when I was a child, and there's one in particular I'm looking for, and it's not here.
What? I'm half stepping away from any projectile journals heading in my direction. If you would tell me what it looks like, I could help you find it.
What does the journal look like?
Make something up.
Cool. The journal, she briefly stops and she goes, it's old, easily 2 decades, almost 3. It it's got like almost like a red leather on the outside, a kid skin basically, and soft as a pair of gloves. It's a lovely, lovely journal, and it's about yay big. Mother would take it with her everywhere. She always wrote in these little pocket journals.
I'm going to help her look through the shelves for for a journal matching that specific description.
Okay, both of you roll investigation for me.
18.
And 17.
Vanelise, you find a couple that match something similar to this description, but as you hand them over to Moira, she leaves through them and she says no, and she puts it to the side. You guys are here for the better part of... I have a hair in my face.
That happened to me earlier.
It's the worst thing.
Of 20, 30 minutes. And still nothing.
I'm going to turn to Moira. Are you sure that it is here?
No, but I wanted to make sure.
What is in this journal?
I'm not sure, actually. I just think it's something important. It was something that my mother wrote.
Do I believe that she doesn't know what's in the journal that we're frantically searching for?
I have an idea of what's in the journal, but I don't know the specifics.
Is that what you say? Like, you don't know what's in it?
Yes, I
Just make a general charisma check, and then make a general wisdom check.
General wisdom?
Yeah.
Lame. Oh, that's not a D20. Hold on. Wisdom. That'd be a 19.
Oh, shit. I rolled a 14. I mean, it's the truth. I have an idea of what's in this journal, but I don't know the specifics.
Then why are you so desperate to find it?
Because I want to see if what I think is in here is in here.
What do you think is in there?
I think there's evidence of my father wanting to kill my mother. And I need that journal.
Your father... Why would he want to kill her?
I don't know. That's what I'm looking for. I don't know.
He's seen all around the city as such a great man, and yet... We must find this journal then. Where else might it be?
I don't know. The first time I saw it, it was on a shelf. It was on this shelf. And I found it, and then one of my father's servants came in, and I panicked, and I put it back, and I left. And then the next time I came back, it was gone. I don't know if that servant took it. I don't know if they saw me with it. But I need it.
Do you remember which servant it was?
Yes. It was Alan, one of my father's most trusted servants.
Perhaps you should go find Alan. I have a few other suspicions of where it might be located, or those that might know where it is.
All right.
Meet back here in 30 minutes. How long does it take to interrogate people? I don't know.
However long, it's fine.
Why don't I'm going to have my father's body moved to the temple. Why don't I meet you there?
Yes, that will work.
All right. And I'll leave.
I'm going to look through and see if there's I'm skimming, but looking and see if there's anything in this room that might have information about, because there are journals. Are there any journals that look to be written by him?
So a lot of the journals that Moira has pulled down are her mother's, and you skim through a few, and on the surface they speak of a tireless devotion to her husband, They speak of love for her children, even though her pregnancies were incredibly hard on her and she developed a lot of health problems afterwards.
Sorry, there was thunder.
And you don't seem to find any that are written in his pen.
After I've given a little bit of time for Moira to leave and go back downstairs, or I guess I assumed she went back downstairs. That's what my character assumed. I'm going to come back out into the hallway. I'm going to look around and see if there's anybody around.
Make a perception check.
9.
Bobby, where are you?
Probably heading back. I'll be heading back outside.
To the courtyard?
Yes, sorry.
Okay. And Moira, did you go down like you said you were going to?
Yes. I'm actually going to head back down into the main hall and talk to the guards and tell them to have my father's body moved.
Okay, that's easy enough, and they comply. With that 9, no, you don't see anybody because it's clear.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to sneakily,
Mm-hmm.
but like not sneakily in like a like sneakily in a. I'm just here doing my thing. I hope nobody sees me, but in a very don't notice me because I'm not doing anything to draw attention to myself kind of way.
Right.
I'm going to search through. I'm going to explore a little bit and see if I can find something that looks like a study.
Make an investigation check.
Sorry, I had to make sure I had my 20 and not my 12. Well, that's a 1, so no.
You go to where you think, funny enough, where you think maybe the master bedroom is, and you open the door and it's actually a very small room. And it's covered in art supplies and paint and blank canvases.
Must have been sad. This is not what I was looking for, but I'll take it.
Step inside, and it's clearly a bedroom, but it's also clearly a working bedroom.
I'm going to look around and see if there seems to be anything out of the ordinary for an artist, or if there's anything. Yes.
All right,
Or any notebooks or anything of that nature.
Okay. Roll an investigation check.
Let's hope it's not a 1. It wasn't great, but fortunately I am great at investigating, so 18.
Okay. You start to look around, and you look under the bed. There's a rug. You look under the rug. You find a lot of blank canvases. You kind of look on the back of the canvases. There's really nothing. And
Thanks
then
for looking. That's what I was going to
You
ask.
see a stack of sketchbooks. And you start to go through them, and they're beautiful sketches of amazing landscapes, beautiful scenes from far and wide, not just from here, but from elsewhere too. It's a massive compilation. And the second to last sketchbook is not a sketchbook.
What is it?
It's a journal.
Oh, a journal.
A red leathered journal.
Oh. Can I flip through it?
Mm-hmm. How much time do you take to read it?
Not that much time. Well, more time than I thought, because I do not have to go find Bobby now.
Where do you start, at the front or the back?
I'm going to start. I think I'm going to start somewhere like 2/3 through.
Okay.
But I will take no more than 15 minutes.
Okay. So you start to skim, and go ahead and just roll me another investigation check really quick.
That'll be a 27.
Okay. So, all the previous journals that you had read from Lady Mercy were tireless devotion to her husband, how much she loved her children, how much joy they brought her, even though her body kind of was not able to handle the pregnancies very well. And the last third of this journal, you notice there's only 30 or 40 pages because this was her last journal. This was her very last journal. And she starts to write about how she is worried for her safety and for the safety of her children because of what she has recently learned about her husband. And you start to dig in deeper and you start to see that she's paranoid that what she found under the castle will cause him to surely murder her.
I'm going to close it and I'm going to tuck it into the folds of my dress.
Okay.
I'm going to restack the sketchbooks.
Make
And
a
then-
dexterity check to see how well you can do that.
10!
It looks exactly like you left it.
Yes, I'm so good at this. Perfect. I'm going to leave. Now that I don't have as much time, I'm going to start to make my way back downstairs. And I'm going to, if I do not see Moira in the temple, I'm probably going to go out along that side to see if I can see her or Bobby.
Okay, so you leave Bobby's room, you open the door, and there she is.
Oh, hello. Wait, which one?
Bobby.
Oh, hello, Bobby. I got a bit turned around. I was looking for the study.
This is definitely not the study.
I know that, but I saw your paintings and they were beautiful. I'm sorry. I did not mean to intrude on your space.
Well, normally I would believe that, but the door was closed. So, and there are paintings all over the castle.
But
That
these
you
are
are
fresh and these are new.
Yes, and they're not available for public consumption just yet. I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
I apologize, and I will step around her.
Okay.
And I will go back down towards the temple.
You go back to look for Moira, and you do see that her and the guards, I say her guards, they essentially are. Her and the guards have brought her father's body into the temple, lain him on the stone altar at the front, and have covered him in a white sheet.
Okay.
And the guards, there's only one or two remaining. They're helping Lady Delaney get more people into her room, you assume. And it's just Moira and one guard, Jake.
There's so many
Very
guards.
young. He is 21.
He's a baby.
He's a human man, and he is
He's a human baby.
baby-faced as fuck.
So I'm going to approach old baby boy. I'm going to let Moira have a minute with her dad's corpse, I guess. Have you made any headway on who you think might have done this? I'm talking to Jake.
Oh,
That's you?
he wasn't listening.
Oh, he wasn't listening to me?
Mm-mm.
What is he doing?
Just spaced out, space cadet. Oh,
Oh my god.
what?
Never mind. I'm going to go back to Moira.
And he is so highly recommended.
Did he? By who?
It's a Pocahontas reference, actually.
Is that the card that you spoke of?
No.
Oh, thank the heavens. Did you find the one that you did?
Did I find Alan, Camille?
Oh, Alan. I can't remember.
Oh,
his name.
Alan. In the hustle of trying to get your father into the temple, you have not found him yet.
Okay. No, I haven't. Not yet. I'll look for him in a moment. I sent Marianne and Malcolm up to their rooms. They're still young. They shouldn't have to deal with this.
You too are young. It is not easy to lose a loved one.
I'm old enough to handle this.
No one is truly old enough to handle something like this.
Liliana is useless. I have to.
Just because you have to does not make it easy.
It's true.
Moira, will you roll an insight check for me?
Insight. That's a 14 plus 7 is a 21.
Oh, yes, honey.
I'm gonna whisper at you.
Ooh, whispers.
DM whispers.
Guys, there's thunder happening at my house, and it's adding to the ambiance.
The atmosphere. All right. Whispers. Cool. Moira's gonna drag her eyes away from her father's corpse, and she is just visibly exhausted. Like, the mask is gone. She's just so tired. And she's going to look at Vanelise and just be like, did you find it? Actually, she's going to take Vanelise further away from Jake.
You did not pay attention anyway.
Hoping that he continues to be a space cadet. And she's going to lean in and ask if she found the journal, or if that's what she was doing.
I was trying to find the journal. And I look over at Jake and I gently pull her out of the room. And I pull it out.
You just whip it out right there.
I mean, if there's nobody around.
You just whipping it out? All right. Go ahead.
I was taking a sip of tea, Camille. I'm a good person. I do not deserve this.
I'm going to pull out the journal.
Yeah, you're going to pull it out?
All right, that's it. Goodbye, everybody.
That's the end of the mugshot. It was Camille. Camille did
Suddenly a journal appears. And I'm keeping it very close to my person, but so that she can see, but that hopefully nobody else, no other wandering eyes can see it. Do you think this could be it?
I kind of brush my, I kind of scoot next to her so that my cape kind of brushes over her arm, and I'm going to try and not grab the journal from her, but kind of grab her hand to see if I can get a better look at it before releasing it.
Yeah, you recognize it.
Before I actually give her the book, I'm going to look her in the eye and I'm going to say, are you prepared for what might be written in this journal?
I don't think things can get much worse.
I let her have it.
Okay. Bobby, what are you doing?
I
Realize
am going to watch her leave. Then I'm going to go in and close the door.
Mhm.
And I would like to look and see if anything has changed in my room.
Roll for investigation.
That 10, though, Mindy.
Camille said it looked
Natural 17.
Camille said it looked exactly like it did when I got
3
there.
to a mod 20.
Dirty 20. Yeah, someone was definitely around here, looking through your shit.
I thought it looked real good. I thought I did a
You
great
thought
job.
it looked really good.
You thought it looked fine.
I thought it looked beautiful.
For the
Vanelise
person
doesn't know that you
who
rolled a
lives
10.
and breathes
He
in
does
this
not.
room and knows what's on every page in every sketchbook. It's very obvious. Mother. God damn it. like the affected voice, like the regal gone. Fuck. And I like point my hand at the sketchbooks, and I don't even have to look. Like I just know it's not there anymore. I even know her. What? Fine. And I go and I grab the top sketchbook, which was the whole reason why I was going back to my room anyway. I grab top sketchbook and I grab a pencil and didn't even fucking know her. Fine. And I'm gonna leave the room and I'm gonna close the door. And I'm going to lock it. Fucking lock it.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go back downstairs very gracefully, and I'm going to sit in the garden and I'm going to begin sketching.
So does that mean she passes us in the temple? Oh, because we got out of the temple. Does she pass us at any point?
So if you guys, it depends on where you guys left the temple. Did you leave the side entrance or the side, like where the storage closet is, back towards the hallway, or did you go back out to the courtyard?
Wherever there are going to be less people.
You were probably in the hallway. So,
My brain had us in the hallway.
So
Okay, perfect. That's kind of
Which way did you go again, Bobby?
I just the fastest way.
Okay.
Outdoors.
Here is the temple. This is where you are in that hallway. And Bobby, you're trying to go outside? Bobby,
I'm sorry.
where are you trying to go?
Outside to the courtyard again.
Okay. No, but you do see that the door to the courtyard is open and the Lord's body is in there, and so is Jake.
Home State Farm.
He's from the state of Farms.
He's from the farm state.
I'm just gonna look at him and I'm just going to shake my head because it's not a
like-
surprise.
God.
Fucking Jake.
Oh, Jake did it.
Are you looking for Moira?
Yeah. At this point,
She's over
Yeah.
there.
Oh,
I didn't
now
want
Jake
to-
knows things.
I didn't realize that you were Jake. So let me like change that and be like, that would be wonderful. Thank you, Jake.
She just went that way.
Thank you, Jake.
So Bobby opens the door and sees Vanelise and Moira in cahoots.
We are talking. I have the journal, and it's hidden.
I say I turn and I take a step, not necessarily shielding Moira from view, but I am anticipating that there's going to be a bit of
Drama?
drama.
Look, I don't even remember your name. Please, next time you go snooping through people's rooms, do a better job of hiding it.
Okay.
Thanks. That was wonderful. Moira. And I kind of like lean around, whoever the fuck you are. And I lean around and I look at Moira. I didn't mean to hide it from you. I promise.
Do I believe her?
Kaylin?
Everything I do is a performance, whether it's true or not. It's all a facade, whether or not it's true.
Can I roll an insight check?
Go ahead and roll insight.
Cool.
Caitlin, message me.
Well, that's nat 20.
Caitlin, message me.
Oh,
Tell me your secrets. Tell me.
can that be our thing? Anytime someone makes a 20.
Caitlin, do it too. Okay.
Even if it's a 20 against you? No, that doesn't count. Unless it's like a character to character.
Moira, she was telling the truth. She did not mean to hide it from you.
Oh.
I'm going to like look her in the eyes and kind of study her really harshly. And just sigh and be like, all right, I believe you.
I had noticed that you were reading them, and I was curious, and I always skip to the end of books because the middle doesn't really matter. And so I went to go grab the last one. I didn't realize that it was. Well, I didn't realize that you would miss it so quickly. I fully intended on putting it back.
Then why did you hide it?
It wasn't. Well, I didn't hide it initially, and then I read it. And then I realized I should not really have known what was inside of the book. And so I had every intention of putting it back and pretending like I had no idea that it existed. Honestly.
All right.
The information that is in that journal.
It's rather shitty.
Is it what you thought it would be, Moira?
Essentially.
What would possess him to do something like this? Does it say?
It does. It does. I read it like 2 or 3 times. I'm going to be very honest.
What does it say? I'm constantly like kind of glancing over to make sure that we are still alone.
Make a
I'm very
perception
much
check.
involved in this conversation, so I'm not paying any attention whatsoever.
Guys, I didn't do a. That's a 9. Nope, that's a mod 20.
You don't see anybody.
Okay.
Something about what was underneath the castle. She wasn't specific about it, which I hate to always the details. Well,
The family tomb is under the estate. That's where my mother's buried.
Perhaps we
Well,
should go there.
apparently she knew about what was going on down there. I don't know anything about what goes on down there. I prefer above ground scenes as opposed to below ground scenes.
Perhaps we should venture down and see if there are any more clues to figure out what he did, why he might have done it, and in doing so, perhaps we can figure out who took his life tonight.
That makes sense. If you'll be one moment, and I'm going to walk back over to Jake.
Oh God.
In his khakis.
Jake and
His
khakis.
robes are khaki colored.
Amazing.
Jake and his khakis, and I am going
That's very Jake.
to what am I going to do? I have 2 different options, and I have to decide which one I like more.
I
Give me
love options.
One moment. You guys talk while I figure out which one I'm doing.
So, okay, I will do that. So do you know anything of something underneath the manor?
I only know that's where my mother's buried. I've only been down there a handful of times in my lifetime.
Do you think perhaps when we go down, perhaps at some point it would be wise to see if your father had any papers or any information. But I think first we should go downstairs and see down to the basement, down to the tomb. Tomb and see what we can find. It doesn't sounds as though that what you are considering under the manor is different than what was spoken of by your mother. Perhaps your father was involved in things that were not as good as the city has painted him to be.
Bobby, you're talking to Jake?
Yes. And while I'm talking with him, I would like to cast Charm Person.
Oh God.
Okay.
What kind of save is that? Because you got to imagine that the
Wisdom?
modifier is like -5.
Wisdom,
Really not the best.
DC 15.
He fails.
Yes, he does.
Love him. Love little Jakey Poo.
We are having a wonderful conversation. Uh-huh. 4. That's wonderful.
Adorable.
Perfect. We will have a wonderful, brief conversation where I allude heavily to the fact that I will be taking a walk around the grounds, but remain on the estate at all times. And that I had heard that Moira would be doing very similar things. And I don't remember the name of the air genasi because I've never seen it before and it'll be fine. So
The blue one.
the blue one. Not quite sure where she went, but I personally will be taking a walk. I will be back in around an hour, which is coincidentally how long charm lasts. So if anybody comes by and asks, Jake's like, I think she went outside.
I think you went outside.
Oh, God.
And
Thank
that's
you
where we're
so
going to take a quick break.
Oh, baby, I love this. It's so incredibly beautiful. Oh, you shine like gold, so selfless to all, and wild like an animal. Some would say I'm insane in the right and away, but I just love to play in your fun and your games. Always hungry for
Hello, and welcome back to Open for Adventures one shot called Bad Blood, featuring Kate, and Mindy. Not confusing at all.
Not at all.
Never.
So, quick announcement. Spuppy is adorable. Second of all, he is right there, in case you're wondering.
I see him and he's adorable and I love him.
Max, are you a good boy? He hates us.
He
He
does.
does not have time for our shit, clearly.
That's what I heard.
Yep.
So, if you, and when I say you, I mean anybody watching the stream, can correctly guess the murderer in the next hour, you will win
3:15. So 3:15. Oh, that would be my time. Sorry.
You will win this beautiful set of dice
Ooh.
from Random Encounter Dice
Yes.
Nice.
and a package that says, disclaimer, we are not responsible for your 2 natural ones rolled from your attack that had advantage. Sorry, fam.
That's real.
They did
That's
just launch
so
their new
real.
website. If you want to go check it out, randomencounterdice.com. They're an Australian-based dice maker, and they're really nice. So yeah, if you can
Which I-
correctly guess in the next hour in the chat who is the murderer, you say, I think blank is the murderer, you will win this
There's
dice.
so many names.
And you can't say me as a person because
Yeah.
we all know I did it.
So
Like
we
you
have
did.
like who,
We have to
you know.
yeah. Anyone who says me, Kate did it. No, you're wrong. I mean,
you still
you're
have
right.
plenty
you're
of
wrong.
time to try and figure out who did it.
Oh yeah, I feel like we're just now getting to like the
The meat.
meat.
So who wants to give a quick recap for anybody who's just joined?
So he took a drink.
He
Immediately
Okay,
died.
so Lord Reese Abernathy is a philanthropist,
Okay.
known man in this community, big name, everybody loves him. He threw a charity ball. he was poisoned. Our characters of the day are Moira, his eldest daughter, Bobby, his personal painter,
The family artist.
the family artist, and Van Elise, an Air Genasi guest of the party, have been trying to figure out who killed this lord of the castle. And when we left off, Moira had just found her mother's journal that dictated that she was terrified that her husband was going to kill her. And this was about 11 years ago, right?
11 or 12, yeah.
11 or 12 years ago. She was paranoid that her husband was going to kill her for what she had found beneath the castle. And that's where we left off.
Oh no, we charmed Jake.
Oh,
That's where we
first they
left off.
charmed Jake.
From State
Is
Farm.
charmed.
From
So
State
that
Farm.
an alibi for not going.
He's wearing khakis.
It might be suspicious if we're all suddenly friends. So,
Are we friends though?
well, we're going one place together at the same
I do
time.
not think that makes us friends necessarily.
We're allies.
No, but it would be suspicious.
Perhaps. So, Moira,
Yes.
or I suppose Bobby might also know the answer to this question. What is the best way to get below the manor?
I'm going to check my memory, otherwise known as Camille, the DM, and remember how to get down.
How to get down there?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know that there are a few ways to get down there. You personally, in your childhood, you have found one or two.
Mhm.
Let me consult my handy dandy graph paper.
You'll go
Because I
around.
made this dungeon all on my own.
Yeah, you did. I'm so proud of you.
So, there are 4 towers. That, if you're on the ground floor, are where the 4 circles are.
Mm-hmm.
And they all go from the topmost level to the bottommost most level. So they all go up to the 3rd floor, 2nd floor, 1st floor, and the basement.
Okay.
Or the underground, where essentially you know that there are 2 main sections. There is a medieval times refrigerator place where they keep things cold, with like the wine cellar and that kind of thing. And then there is the kind of reliquary where former lords and ladies of the house have been buried. And the biggest, most beautiful sarcophagus in there is of your mother, Mercy. And it's at the very end of this long hallway.
Okay. I'm going to lead them. I'm going to take one of the paths that I found as a child. I don't like taking the official path. It seems it's almost too much.
Okay.
And I'm going to lead them down there.
Okay, you guys watch as she, funny enough, this hallway that you're in, she presses an indentation in the wall, and the stone sinks forward and opens. Is that a
That's
staircase?
why I've never been down there.
I am making a mental note of what that looked like so that I might look for others in the future.
Okay.
I'm going to turn as we walk. I'm going to turn to our very curious Air Genasi friend, and I'm going to say, "I'm sorry. I've seen your face. It's very familiar. What is your name again?"
Van Elise, I had to look.
Vanelise. Vanelise. That's a lovely name. May I ask why you are so invested in this?
Because I was accused.
I was very loudly accused by the deceased's wife.
You were. I actually did not see that because I was already speaking to a guard. I was sent to find more information to see what I can bring back. your name was whispered. But I am not.
I'm sure it was. My name was whispered many places.
But I
For
am.
different reasons. But why? I've seen you here a few times for different gatherings and whatnot. Why would the guards approach you? I'm really just wondering why you were in my room, honestly.
So, do you want to know what is it you are asking? Because it's now you are asking me two different things.
That's fair. That's very fair. I apologize. Why did the guards go to you?
I do not know. Were there any other air genasi there? I mean, I do stand out a bit.
Have I had dealings with Vanelise before?
Only at events like this.
Okay. I'll, from the front, I'll just say she's been to some of these events before. I've had some dealings with her. Her presence is not unusual.
Oh, well, I'm not saying for the actual event, of course, no. There were many people who aren't actually usually here for the event, and many people who show up for any reason were also here. What I'm asking is why you, someone who's only peripherally, even remotely involved with the family and with Lord Abernathy, why you are so invested in finding out what happened. I understand Moira. It's her father. I get it.
This man is, he is spoken well of in the community, in the city. He has done very much for so many people, and it is befuddling to me why someone might want to kill him. It just does not make sense to me. And I kind of glance up to Moira. And it is very clear that a number of people held him in close regard, yourself included. I just find it peculiar that he would be killed.
So it's purely out of curiosity then that you're exploring all of this, that you went into my room, followed, I'm assuming you followed her.
I asked her to look for the journal. I did not give her direction. I did not tell her where to go. So where she went was of her own accord, but she was doing it on my request.
And I recalled was something that you had told me. I'm only looking to find answers. That is all I want to do this night.
I mean, that's fair, I suppose. It's just very interesting. Someone with no connection at all is becoming so involved in solving it of their own accord. But that's fine. All I do are colors. It's fine.
If you would rather, I can let you guys go forward on your own.
Oh, you're here now.
Speaking
No point
of
in
being
walking
here now,
back.
Oh, are we here?
you have made it to Mercy, Abernathy, Nay, Henry.
Okay.
Her beautiful sarcophagi is carved out of straight marble to look exactly as she did. And she was very young when she died, maybe in her late 20s, 28. Sorry, I'm looking at my dog.
He's a good boy.
He's a very good boy. Do you want to come here? And he had her carved like exactly as she was when she was that age. So she's strikingly beautiful. You guys notice she looks exactly like Moira. The resemblance is startling. It is creepy how similar they look, especially now. And Mora, when was the last time you were here?
It's probably some time ago. I definitely came down here a lot as a child, just because it was a place to play. After Mom died, I would say, honestly, the last time I was down here was probably when they put the sarcophagus in here.
Your memory of her sarcophagus is not strong. It
Mm.
is filled with emotion, but it is not a strong memory etched into your mind. And now, as you look upon your mother's face, or the representation of her face, you see your own staring right back at you, and it gives you the chills.
So is the sarcophagus closed? Did I miss that?
It is
The sar-
closed.
Okay.
And it's some distance between her sarcophagi and Lord Reese's father and Lord Reese's mother. And the rest you're just in this long rectangular hall underground. The ceiling is maybe 10 feet up. The same pillars that you saw in the Great Hall are also here. Whether or not they've just been carved in or whether it's actually those pillars, you're not really sure. But there is a pillar. It's like there's a pillar in between them is a sarcophagi. A pillar, 2 empty spaces. Sorry, it would be 1 empty space, his father and his mother. And then to the left of her, to the left of the mother, there are many empty spaces.
I want to investigate my mother's sarcophagus. I want to look at it. I know my memory's not strong. So initially, it's mostly like just refamiliarizing myself with it. And then I want to see if anything's been touched, because really no one should have been down here in the years since she died.
Correct. Unless to visit.
But even then, nothing should be touched.
Exactly. Roll an investigation.
Oh, sweet.
Can I investigate the walls to see if there are any more pushy things?
Pushy things. Make a pushy things check.
Okay, I will.
It's an 18 plus a 4, so 22.
Okay.
I'm not going to find anything. It's
No
not the
push-
one, but it's pretty close.
What's the total roll?
I don't know what the modifier is.
For investigation?
Oh, is it investigation?
Yes.
Oh, then it is 13. It is not that bad.
So, Moira, you rolled 22 and you inspect your mother's sarcophagus, and it is pristine. Somebody clearly takes very good care of it. You've never seen anybody come up or down from here as far as your servants go, but there is not a speck of dust lingering on your mother's sarcophagus. There is a thin line where the sarcophagus the lid comes to a close. That is what your mother's facade is engraved out of.
Mhm.
And you look to see if that's been disturbed recently, and because it's so clean, it's very hard to tell.
Mhm.
You don't see any marks that denote any pry bar openings or any crowbar openings or anybody forcing their way into the sarcophagus. There are some footsteps around the sarcophagus, like all around it, and there's about 3 feet between it and the wall.
Okay.
And you notice that many footsteps go, because you rolled so high, go directly into the wall and then directly back out of the wall on the other side of the sarcophagus.
I'm going to follow those footsteps, and I'm going to look for another hidden door.
All right, and as you're doing that, you see that your Air Genasi friend is already kind of scrambling up and down the wall, and you don't find anything, Vanelise, immediately. Go ahead and roll. I'm just going to keep that 22, because why not? Just go ahead and roll. Roll, Moira, roll.
Okay. Shit. All right. Fuck.
While this is happening, I'm not looking at the sarcophagus. I'm not looking at Mora. I am watching Vanelise.
Mm-hmm.
trying to see if I can gather, because her explanations were intensely unsatisfying to me, and I would like to see if I can glean anything from observing her while she's working.
Make an insight check. Sorry, I'm eating a very dry cookie.
Nice. Okay. 16 plus 8. 24.
What was your role on investigation, Moira?
13. Oh, I'm not Moira. I'm sorry.
13.
All right,
You guys both
Moira,
rolled
what'd you roll? I rolled a 13, actually. Funnily enough, she was right.
I'm also psychic.
Okay, so you, Bobby, began to watch Vanelise as she works.
Names are confusing.
And you get the feeling that this is not the first trapdoor she's looked for. This is not the first hidden door she's searched for. This is not her first rodeo. As far as her explanation for why she's involved or invested, as she was saying, Lord Abernathy is very revered in the community, and she doesn't understand why anybody would want to kill him. That's roughly what you said, right, Bentley's?
Yeah.
And that all seems truthful. What did you roll for insight?
24.
It seems truthful. It doesn't seem like it's the whole story, though.
Interesting.
But is it the whole story with anybody? Like with you? Or Moira? What was that, Mindy?
Kate did it.
It was me.
Kate, not Moira. Kate.
Me. I did it.
Okay.
I'm one of the NPCs. I did it.
Okay. All right.
After a few moments, you look and the footsteps go into they're very, very hard to see, and Vanelise, you didn't actually notice them until Moira pointed them out. And you know that there must be a secret level or door, and you get so frustrated, and you, Vanelise, and you just punch the wall.
Oh, okay.
Damn it! You know it's here! That brick. Tick, 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 tick. And the door swings open.
Take a step back.
I also take a step back. That was rather disconcerting.
The door swings. The between the two pillars, the whole wall is like a door that swings wide open.
I look back to Moira and Bobby. Do you think this is it?
Only one way to find out.
There's nowhere else it could be. Might as well. And
I'll walk in.
yeah.
I will slowly follow.
Okay. So what you first see is a short corridor, at the end of which are two pillars. The same pillars that make up the whole rest of the manor come down with a short archway between them. And the walls were made of rocky stone and dirt. This was just kind of carved out. It was not built. The corridor disappears into darkness ahead of you.
I think we should move.
I am going to say, does anyone have any kind of stick or staff or anything exciting like that?
We have the journal.
No.
That's
I have this. And I cast dancing lights.
oh, that's much more exciting than what I was going to do.
I'm
Where
creeping
do you
in the
send these
shadows
lights?
because I'm scared.
It only lasts for a minute, but it's a cantrip, so I'm
You
just gonna
recast it.
yeah.
Noted.
Well, rather than continue to do that, could I have your hand, please? Moira.
I gingerly give her my hand.
I am watching very carefully.
I just kind of pat the top, and I cast light on her hand.
What color?
It is a very soft orange.
Oh, it's very
Orange
lovely.
yellow.
Your
Flashes
hand
with
is
my
made of light
outfit.
now. Ah. High five.
I'm going to no, I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to stay with them.
Okay,
So we creep.
you creep forward. Are you being quiet?
Yes.
Please roll for stealth.
Oh, are we being? Oh, all right.
Oh, so in our, fancy ball gowns, it's whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And
got
if
real
someone is not being stealthy, I'm going to avoid them. I got a 17.
I got. Mod 20.
Okay.
Mm.
Ugh.
What'd
You
you
do
get?
have a glowing hand, so.
You've got a glowing hand. It kind of makes.
I got an 11.
That's not
Could be-
bad.
It could be worse.
It could be a
Yeah.
lot worse, but I hate.
So you notice that as you reach this archway and you put your hand out, expecting to go forward, it goes steeply down. Not directly, but the stairs are very steep here. You definitely have to watch your step as you're going down. And it curves down and then around to the left.
Okay. Very carefully make our way down.
Okay.
I'm gonna kind of stick out my glowing hand. This is very strange. I'm gonna stick out my glowing hand and see if I see anything like on the walls or on the floor.
No, the walls are made of stones that look like they have just been kind of shoved into place to make this archway. The stairs are barely stairs. They're more like carvings out of dirt and rock. They're not always stable. In fact, I'm gonna need you guys to make a dexterity check on your dresses as you go down these stairs.
Yay!
I'm a lady. I was trained for this.
Is it a check? Just
She should roll at advantage. Dex check.
Yes.
hoping for.
And I get an
Beautiful.
advantage because I was trained to walk.
Sure.
with a nice dress.
Sure.
Cool. Be good. Oh shit! Natural 19 and a natural 20.
Hey!
Hey, mine was a mod 20.
This is what we do for
Caitlin?
next 20, right?
Yeah, that is what we do for natural 20s.
Okay. Can't wait
Caitlin,
to
would
try
you
and
roll?
get Nevin to do that.
Bobby.
Me? Oh, right. I rolled a 15 plus 2. 17.
17?
Yes.
Yeah, you like the deft young ladies that you are, after all of this weight. After all, you had the constant weight of the patriarchy down on your shoulders. You know how to walk in heels.
Absolutely.
And you head down these stairs, and they curve down to the right, and they go through this. There's an open door, and you stick your hand out into the room, and you see it's a room, old but still a structure. Cobblestone floors, stone walls, a wooden door that's swung open. There's a table and a bench in here. There's a chest, there's a piece of plywood like laying up on the wall. Other than that, it seems empty. There are two as you enter. There's a door that is to the left and a door that is to the right.
Okay.
I'm going to sit back and I'm going to sketch the room real quick.
Okay.
Just
Make a dexterity check to see how well you do it.
not performance.
Make a performance check. You're right. I'm sorry.
Ooh.
It's all right. Well, that was a natural 18. In performance, I have plus 8. So,
It's probably pretty good.
yeah. So,
It
that's
doesn't
what,
take you long at
26?
all. And it's a pretty good rendering.
So, there are doors, but what's in
The room is empty aside from a table,
empty?
like a wooden table, a bench, a chest, and a piece of plywood that is directly to the right of you as you enter.
So,
What's in the chest? I want to see.
are there drawers on the desk?
No, it's a table. It's not a desk.
Oh,
It's
just a table.
like an eating table, like a dining table.
Then let's check the chest.
Okay. Who's gonna check the chest?
I will.
I will go with her.
All right. You open it.
Yep.
Make a dexterity saving throw.
Yep.
Both of you.
I'm looking at the plywood now. It
Nothing
seems
in
awful
her
out of
life
place.
has ever been trapped. She had no reason to think there was one. No, that's a 2.
Ooh,
Mine's a
no.
23.
Hang on. Let
You
me
take
see
half
what my,
damage.
let me see what my modifier is. It's still not going to save me. But yeah, no, it's a 6.
Half damage.
Oh, I didn't roll great at all. My Dreamcatcher die rolled a 1. That's 5 points of poison damage
Okay, we'll give it.
for Moira. That's rounded down to 3 for you.
Okay.
Had a cough and choke, like I have been doing in real life.
That's real.
Yeah.
You find a series of. After you have dealt with these poison darts that I've shot out and punctured your dress, you open and you see it's full of metal, but not gold or silver or even platinum. They're iron. You pick one up, and it's a long chain with 2 manacles on the end.
What on
It is about 15 pair of manacles.
What? No, surely not. I drop the chain very hastily, kind of brush my hand on my skirt. I'm like, no, surely not. Now that I am aware of things being trapped, I am going to cast Unseen Servant, and I'm going to have the Unseen Servant try and open one of the doors.
Are you gonna open the one that's nearest to you? So you're in front of a chest, and there's a door right back into the right of you, and then there's one on the other side of the room.
I'm going to do the other side of the room so that we are out of any blast zone of any trap that might trigger.
Okay. Your Unseen Servant pulls the doors open. It's a double door, and you guys can see that it's about 5 feet forward. There's just a blank wall. You can tell that there's the corridor goes left and right here.
Well,
I went to go look at the random piece of plywood up against the wall.
Okay.
I would like to look at that and then just give the table a good once over, see if I can figure out what kind of things happened on the table. Was it an eating table? Are there drink rings? Are there?
Okay, make 2 separate investigation checks.
Okay. I don't have. Oop, that's a 7
Solid.
and then a 9.
Also solid.
Real great.
Okay, this first one was not hard. So, the plywood is made of the same material as the door. And the door has, on the side that you came in from, has 2 slats.
Interesting.
It is designed to be locked from the outside.
Interesting. Okay. And the table?
There's some really old bread.
Ew.
Oh, what a waste. All right.
So are the doors open now?
The doors to, I would say that would be the east side are open. To the west, it's one door and it's closed. It's like an arched door too. I guess all of these are technically arched doors.
Moira,
mm-hmm.
why would your father have many questions about this, but what the door locks from the outside. Oh, that reminds me, that's not something that we want to have locked behind us. I am going to attempt to break the lock on the door so that it cannot be locked behind us.
You want to take those, so you can't be locked in?
Yes.
How are you going to do, so are you going to take the slat things off? You're going to try to remove them?
Yes.
Okay. How are you going to try and do it?
Carefully. I'm not exactly the brawniest in the room. I am going to. I'm going to cast light on my own hand so I can see what I'm doing. If anyone would like to help, I would really rather not get locked in here on accident
I'll
or,
assist.
God forbid, on purpose.
I'll assist.
Okay.
While she's assisting, I'm checking to make sure there's nothing happening where we just came from.
Okay. I'll get to you in just 1 second. So go ahead and roll for either dexterity or strength.
Dexterity.
Okay.
And since I'm
Oh,
assisting,
no.
does she get advantage?
She gets
Please?
advantage.
Oh, thank God, because that was a 6. Oh, that one's not great either. That's an 8. This D20 is going away
I
now.
was about to say, time to put that dice away.
It's a weight.
Better okay.
So
What was
yeah,
the total?
so that's the highest was an 8.
Okay. If this cannot be done quickly, are you going to continue to try and do it? Because it can be done over time. It will just take a minute. Do you want to do it quickly or do you want to do it thoroughly?
Are we in any rush?
I'm waiting for my turn. So I don't know.
So yeah, go ahead and roll for perception, Vanelise.
I don't mind taking a minute.
13.
You kind of peek your head out that double door, look to your left, look to your right. There's a stairs going up to your left and a stairs going down to your right, and you don't hear anything.
Okay. I will keep watching
Okay.
while I wait, while I try to fix the door so that we don't get locked in forever.
That would
Yeah.
be
It does take you about 20 minutes to break down that part of the door, but you feel pretty confident that you cannot be locked in there.
cool. That's all I wanted.
Perfect.
If I'm gonna get stuck somewhere, I need to be able to see the sky.
So you have those double doors that are open. You have a door that is by the chest that you have not entered.
All right. Oh, excuse me. I'm
So-
sorry. I'll
One
open
more
it.
question.
Yeah.
One more question. Is we followed footsteps
Mhm.
through the. Does this room even look even remotely recently lived in?
Lived in, no. Used, yes.
Recently used.
It looks like it's pretty commonly used.
Well, ain't that the. Okay. So I'm gonna go over to the door that hasn't been opened yet, and I'm gonna just knock on it. Just a. I want to listen.
Roll perception.
Much better. 15.
No, you don't hear anything.
I want to open the door.
Okay. You open the door.
Yes.
It opens. There's a long staircase and another door at the top. Not a long staircase, maybe like a 6-foot tall staircase, like a very narrow corridor up.
So do we want to staircase or double doors first?
I think the doors.
Double doors?
I don't want to go back up.
This only goes up a little bit.
That
Or
I
should
will say that the door at the top does not look like it could be locked or anything.
Okay.
It looks like a swinging door.
I'm gonna go peek.
Okay. You go up there and you peek in it and you push it open and you see a very, very nice bedroom with a lavish bed, a beautiful carpet, a writing like not a writing desk, but like just a desk where there's a pitcher of water. Above it are some books. Whoever lived here liked nice things. Or whoever, it looks like whoever stays here likes nice things.
Okay. Is there anyone in the room? It's
No.
empty.
Mm-mm.
I'm going to I'm gonna lean back down like it's a bedroom. It's a really nice bedroom.
It's a what? And I'm gonna follow her up the stairs.
I'm gonna go into the room now.
Okay.
I
As
will
you
also
walk-
join them.
As you walk up into the room, Bobby and Moira, make a perception check.
Well, that's a nat 1.
That's another 15.
Bobby, you'd recognize this smell anywhere. It smells an awful lot like a place you have to spend a lot of time. It smells like Lord Abernathy's room. He clearly spends a lot of time here. Or he used to.
Interesting.
Are there?
It's a dead end from here.
Why would he have a secret bedroom in his basement?
I want to look around the room.
Make a investigation check.
Yeah, mostly I'm checking to see if this decor is more to my father's tastes or somebody else's.
Okay. I'll say you have advantage on this.
Okay. Good. I needed it. First was a natural 1. Next was a natural 15. And you said investigation?
Yes.
Okay. So it's a 19.
Definitely your father's taste.
Okay. This is so strange. Why?
You should check the other room.
I agree. I
I
don't
don't-
notice.
Yeah, I don't linger. I go right back downstairs.
Yep.
Okay. You've got that quarter. One goes up and one goes down. Which way are you going?
We need to go down, right?
Are there any footsteps? Do we see?
Make a survival
Anything.
check.
Yep.
Or investigation if you're proficient.
Okay.
I doubt any of y'all are proficient in survival.
I'm not,
What?
but
Why
I'm
would
also
you
not.
say that?
Hey. I had a 22.
More footsteps go down, but there are some steps that go up.
Well, I'll go down.
Okay.
I will follow her.
It's a long corridor down, and you see a rounded archway, and you come to what would be a corridor. It's like a 5 feet forward and then a railing. And then as you step onto the bottom of the landing and you are face to face with this railing, you look down and you see one more floor below you, as if you're like looking down on it, and below and next to that is a stream, a body of water with a boat docked.
What on earth? And I'm gonna descend and try and look at this. Have I heard of these kinds of things before?
Nope. But if you guys are in the subscriber chat in Discord, you can see what it looks like.
I'm in that chat.
That's me. I can see.
Me too.
And immediately to your left, there is another archway. And there are two. The railing that you're on extends about 20 feet or 15 feet in either direction with long sets of stairs that go down. There's kind of like a bottom area, a bottom floor. And then from there is a small boat docked there.
Do we see any people? Do we see any like living creatures?
Mm-mm.
I want to know what the up where the other hallway leads to. I'm going to head back up the hallway and go take a look and see where the path less traveled leads to.
Okay, you head up and there's a door at the top. Do you open it?
Yeah.
Easy enough. It swings. It swings inward, and you see 3 or 4 bedrolls, about 4 bedrolls, some swords, shabby rug, some personal effects.
Any people?
Mm-mm.
Interesting. Going to take a very quick mental image.
Do you want to look through and see if you recognize any of the personal effects or anything?
Sure. Yeah. I know most of the guards by
Let's see an
now.
investigation check. Yes, you do know most of the guards personally.
Please tell me there's some
Cool.
khaki in there.
That guy tried to run away. 14 plus 2. 16.
There is a spare set of khakis in here.
Oh goodness, Jake.
As well as you notice a book that you lent to Kel and one of your paintings that you specifically remember giving to Frank, one of the other older guards.
Interesting. All right. I'm going to make sure that everything is back the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah, you didn't
According
have
to
to
the
touch anything
mental
see all this.
image that I had before. And then I'm going to head back downstairs.
Okay, did
and
either of you go with her?
I would have started to follow her, but not before she already left the room.
I could say you could have gotten up there and noticed what she noticed as well.
Okay.
Was going to tell you.
You can tell me because I didn't follow you.
So this may have been a close secret, but it wasn't wasn't one that he kept to himself.
So what is this secret, though? It's not clear exactly what is going on down here.
No, but it's clear that whatever it was, he couldn't or didn't want to do by himself.
I noticed the swords, right, in that room?
Mhm.
I'm going to take one.
Okay. One of them is a short sword and one of them is a long sword.
I'll take the short sword.
Okay. And if you would like a picture of what you saw,
Mm-hmm.
if you would like
Yes,
to, may
please.
check out the Discord subscriber chat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. All right.
All right, all right, all right.
All right, all right, all right.
I'm not jumping in on that.
So you guys,
Lame.
after you check out this room that you assume to belong to some of the guards that your father employs, you head back down?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Which way are
Yes.
you going when you go down?
You said there was
Another hallway or
Another
another arm?
hallway?
Yeah, as soon
Like,
as you
we
reach
go
the bottom of
back
that
in?
staircase, there is one directly to your left.
Can we go down that one?
Moira, are you first?
Yep.
With your glowing hand?
With my glowy hand.
You step through this archway and you raise your hand and you immediately recognize the sight of a cage. A cell. A prison cell.
Mm. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to step further into the room and like try to hold my hand up. And I know it's going to cast super long shadows and I'm not going to get a great view, but I just kind of want to see like how big this room is and how many
So
of these
you raise your
cells
hand
there
and you look, and there's two more cells to your right. They're
Okay.
long. They go back pretty far. There are manacles and chains on the wall.
Are they empty?
No.
Who's in it?
You don't recognize them. It is a young male tiefling with red skin and long black hair, horns that come up and then back down under. And he has long passed his days of life.
This is unforgivable. I suddenly don't care who killed my father anymore. I'm going to go further in.
Okay, and to the next one over.
Yeah.
The next one is empty. There are a lot of chains in here. You imagine that, these are about 20 feet long and maybe 15 or 10 feet wide. You could fit a lot of people in here. There's nobody in the second one. And then the third one, to your right, there's like a stool, some pots.
Yeah.
And the last cell is open.
I would like to sketch real quick sketch of the young man in the cell. One sketch of as he looks now, and then I would like to do sort of a bust of what I would imagine his face would have been otherwise.
Okay.
I'm going to very, very cautiously. You said the third cell is open.
The third cell is open.
I'm going to very, very cautiously go into the cell, see if I can see anything.
Roll an investigation check. Is anybody going with her?
That'll
I'm
be
sketching.
that'll be a 14.
Yeah, I'll go with her.
Okay. Vanelise, you start to look around the room, and there are a few sacks left here, a few bags. You rifle through some of them. Moira, you walk in just as you see Vanelise stop and pick up a red bag that has markings just like the dark markings on her face, but in red.
What?
Vanelise is just looking at this bag.
What is that?
I don't know. It looks familiar. I mean, these markings are.
Were you here?
No. Kind of glance over my shoulder.
Do you look in the bag?
Oh. Oh, yeah. I can look through the bag. I'm going to look through the bag.
There's about 6 gold in the bag. There's
Great.
also a painting, a small personal painting of 3 figures. A young woman with blue skin and light blue eyes. A young woman with red skin and green eyes, and orange hair that flies behind her. And then a third, a woman with green skin, much older than these two, looking down on them lovingly.
I turn back to Moira, visibly shaken, probably a little teary-eyed. This is my sister's bag. I'm sure of it. This is hers. Where is she?
I don't know. I've never been down here before.
We have to find her. We have to find these people. What was your father doing?
I don't know. I've never been down here.
We have to find her. We have to find whoever is responsible for this.
Well, I'm pretty sure we know who's responsible for it, and he's laying
Yes.
in the temple right now.
There's no way. There must be more. He was not working alone. He could not do something like this by himself. Could he?
The guards were obviously assisting him. Oh no, the guards were obviously assisting him.
Don't worry. I'm behind you all now. I'm like, don't worry. Jake firmly believes that we are all on walks separately. At least for
Also,
the, at
Jake.
least
Do they trust Jake?
how long have we been down here?
About 30 minutes.
About 30 minutes. Okay. So basically, Jake's in on it. I saw his very distinctive choice in clothing in the guard's room. But we have about another 30-ish minutes while he firmly believes that we are all out walking.
We need to make sure that none of them get away with this.
Well, we need to make sure that we don't give that by the time he comes to whatever sense he has, we are at least somewhat appropriate in what I've told him. Being down here in the middle of a secret dungeon thing isn't a good idea.
There are lives. There are lives at risk here.
Okay, so there are always lives at risk, number one. Number two, we are the only people who know about this
So
that
then
are
we tell
upset
them.
about this. We have to
Who's
either
to say that other people know? Did you know about this until today?
no.
Then
I
who's
literally
to say-
just said we are the only people who know about this that are upset about this. If we get caught, it's very easy for all of us to be framed as the murderer, and then
Who is to say that other people would not be upset with this barbaric behavior?
you are grieving. I understand that. What I'm saying is we are the only ones who know that are. The gods clearly don't care, or they
Then
would
we
have
must-
done something about it.
And we need to tell people. We need to ensure that the public knows that he was not the man that people thought he was. It must be made right.
Sure. All I'm saying is that we have 30 minutes before somebody that we know for a fact is involved realizes that we are not in fact where we said we were.
I'm going to get up and with my sister's bag, and I'm going to shove my way past her. And as I do so, then we must make the minutes count. And I keep walking.
You go back out.
I go back out.
Okay, so you're back out onto that railway. You can either go down either set of stairs, or you could go back up where you came from.
There's another set of stairs.
Yeah,
To go
there's two sets
down.
of stairs. You check
I
this-
at this point I am so confused. This is so different from the man I grew up with. I'm actually going to take the sword that I have and I'm going to cut my cape off, and I'm actually going to trim the hem of my dress really quickly so that I can move a little bit better.
Okay.
And I'm going to like hurry down the stairs because I realize we are on a time crunch, but I also want to figure this out because this is unacceptable.
I'm going to draw the dagger that I snuck into the charity event. And I'm also going to cut my dress. Seeing that is a more effective way to maneuver. at
Okay,
this
so now that you no longer have to lift your dress up Jane Austen style.
Real fancy.
You hurry down the steps and you're on this floor where there are 3 posts for boats. And only one of them is currently moored. To the left of you, you see some barrels. And to the right of you, you see this water. It's a very narrow channel and it goes, there's a short archway that it continues to go through, but you can't see past that. Below you, the water is very clear. You can see straight down to the bottom.
What's at the bottom?
Make a perception check.
Is there anything in the boat? Nothing.
14,
Ugh.
16.
Does anybody else want to look as well?
I did, and it was investigation.
Yeah.
16.
Or perception, either one. Whichever one's higher for you.
Perception.
Nope, same number.
I can check, but I would probably, yeah. I'm probably checking everything. I'm looking for literally anything that we can use as evidence for whatever this is.
Okay. So go ahead and make either an investigation or check or a perception check.
That'll definitely be investigation. And that'll be a 22.
Okay. So Moira and Bobby, you search this floor. There's nothing here aside from the barrels. You look in the water, you look down, there are some rocks down there. And Van Lees, your mother was a water genasi. You've spent a lot of time in water. And you look down below where the barrels are, and you notice that there is a change in the current there. As if it's being, not like redirected on purpose, but there is a channel underneath.
Can I jump in the
Jump in the water.
Can I jump in the water and go investigate? I can hold my breath an indefinite amount of time.
Perfect. You jump in the water, and as soon as you splash in, it's not very cold. As soon as you land in, you turn around and you see this giant opening that goes directly underneath right where you were standing.
Do I see how long it goes? Like, can
Do you
they,
have dark
are they
vision?
going to, no.
But you can hold your breath an indefinite period of time.
I can, they can't.
I can give you a high five.
I'm going to poke my head back. That light. I need a light. And I'm going to hold my hand out.
I'm
I
going
will-
to get in the water with her and I'll cast dancing lights and I'm going to have them go all the way down through the opening that she saw.
Can
Okay.
we, and also give
You
me
also
my
have
hand.
light on your hand.
Perfect.
Yes.
Okay.
I have the two of you in the water. Moira,
How
you
long?
duck down and you see this path straight forward, maybe three or so feet down, that goes forward, and your dancing lights start to float in. And this was not natural. This was built in, and it's very squarish, and it's not very long. It's maybe 30 feet long before it stops, and your dancing light it doesn't. There's no roof to refract off of anymore at the end of it.
I'm going to start swimming.
Okay.
I'll follow
You
her.
swim through this square 5 feet wide. There's only room for one of you to go at a time, and you get to the end, and you look up and you see the water breaks, and you pop your head up, and there is a ledge 2 feet up.
Is there anything looking very alive?
You can make a perception check.
I would like to look for some place to hide my sketchbook. Because
Okay.
if we're going
There's some barrels.
swimming- There's some barrels. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna find the driest. I'm gonna hide my sketchbook in there because if I'm
Solid.
going swimming. Fine. I really like this dress, but whatever.
And you hop in
And-
after him.
Mine was a
And I'm
9.
enjoying them.
I rolled a 12.
You don't hear any movement up there at all.
I'm going to hop up.
Okay.
I'll follow.
The first thing that hits you is the scent. It's the smell of decay. A pile of bodies lays before you in this long corridor of about 20 feet, 8 or 9 feet wide. They're just piled. Genasi. Some half-elves, strange-looking elves. So many tieflings. Gnomes. Orcs. Half-orcs. Drow. Creatures you've never even seen before, all piled up dead. And there's one or two or three on top that are about 3 feet up.
Why don't we have phones that can take pictures?
Can I get a perception check? Can I get another perception check from you guys?
Yeah.
I'll pop up.
Are there any humans in this pile?
Not
I
a
got an
lot.
11.
There are some things that look like humans, but they've got more pointed ears and angular features, and you notice some of them have like wings on their back. Not wings, but like feathers poking out of the back of their shoulders.
I happen to have a wonderful memory of scenes,
Mm-hmm.
so I'll roll a constitution check, probably,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll pop up and I will try to commit the scene to memory in ways that I do so when I draw
Mm-hmm.
and paint landscapes.
Okay.
Also,
You
I
don't
rolled a
have to roll for it.
13 for that check.
The perception check?
Yes.
Yeah, you see this pile of dead bodies. Can I get another perception check from Vanelise and Moira now that you guys are up on?
14.
19.
Moira,
I'm a little
you
distracted.
are staring at this pile in horror, eyes transfixed. Not unblinking, just totally unblinking, and you think you see your eyes deceive you as the room starts to shift a little bit, and from your constant staring, your frozen posture, and you swear you see something move. The
What?
top figure.
I start walking towards it. Someone's obviously alive. I'm going to go help them.
Okay. You climb up this macabre pile and you get to the top, and it's a boy. Maybe 15. No, not much older than Malcolm. And I'm sorry, Miriam. Mariana, your youngest sister.
Marian.
Not
That
much younger than
person.
her. And he has long golden hair, and his eyes are wide open, and they're a bright golden color. They come to a kind of a point a little bit. His ears are a little, not as pointed as a half elf, but close. Otherwise, he looks human, very pale skin. And you see him breathe a little bit.
I'm going to. Fuck, I'm not a healer. I'm going to cast. I don't have anything. I don't cast anything. I'm going to call down. I mean, like, I'm going to like hold him to me. I'm going to be like, he's alive. Help me.
I'll go try to help.
Are-
I can't really
Okay.
do anything.
You're
I
still here,
will.
Bobby.
I will like to. I would like to cast, detect thoughts.
On.
Just the area. The surface thoughts of any creature within 30 feet are revealed to you.
You have to pick a creature?
Mm-mm.
That's a lot.
If I choose to look deeper into a specific creature's mind, that's when. But at this point, I'm doing detect thoughts to see if there's anyone else.
You can focus your mind on any one creature that you can see within 30 feet of you. So you can start looking at each of them and trying to see if you gather any thoughts.
Okay. Oh yeah, no. This spell also allows you to detect the presence of thinking creatures you cannot see.
Oh, there's nothing else alive here.
Okay. That's all. That's all I wanted to
Sad,
check.
but we need to get him out of here.
That's all I wanted to know.
I
I can. You know what I can do? I know what I can do. I'm going to go up to him and I'm going to cast the 3rd level spell, Catnap. It's very wonderful when I'm spending late nights working on. But what Catnap is, it's a Xanathar spell, and up to 3 willing creatures you see fall unconscious. They are unconscious for 10 minutes, and if they're unconscious for the full 10 minutes, they gain the benefit of a short rest. So the ability to, I don't know if he has hit points or not, but
He does.
okay.
Okay, he falls promptly to sleep.
We need to get him out of here.
He will be asleep for 10 minutes.
How are we going to get him out of here without the guards seeing?
Let me handle that. But he needs to be fully asleep, undisturbed for 10 minutes for this to have any kind of effect on him.
So we're sitting here for 10 minutes.
Well, we can carry him, but no shaking.
Well, we have to go back in the water.
Damaged at all.
Or is there anywhere else to go? Yeah, we have to go back under the water. Is that going to bother him? Is that going to disturb him?
Probably.
Well,
Okay.
but we can at least start seeing to everyone else here.
Can we... Is there anything else besides dead rotting bodies?
I'm gonna tie my dress up.
You're
So
soaking
I
my
have
dress.
Yes, sopping wet dress, floor length. Gonna tie it up. It's gonna be real heavy, but and I'm going to, while we're waiting for the young man to take his cat nap, I'm gonna start the newer bodies. I'm going to try and start maneuvering them so they're in some kind of respectful position, because I feel like they're kind of haphazardly tossed in land where they lay. So I'm just kind of giving them a little bit more respectful positioning. The ones that I can.
Okay.
So
Is there anything that you talk about during this 10 minutes?
I'm basically kind of muttering out loud, like, I can't believe he would do this. I can't believe this is underneath our house. This can't go on. I'm gonna have to, like, her mind is like on fixing the home and like making sure this doesn't occur again. That's because that's what she was trained to do, and that's kind of all she does.
Well. So,
I'm pacing.
do you see your sister?
I do. I look.
Do you?
No.
She doesn't even look.
Did she
But
say that
then-
out loud?
But I just say no. Yes, I say no. No, she is not here.
Yeah, but Mora, you did not see her look.
Since I'm going through the fresher bodies and organizing them in a tasteful manner, would I have seen a fire genasi?
You find one fire genasi, a boy.
A boy? Okay. Okay. Why are you here?
What do you mean? I assume you're talking to me.
I am. You. This all seems a little coincidental. Not that I'm blaming you for any of this, but Abernathy dies, and we find the same day with you, whom, no offense, I've never spoken with you in my life, find a secret. I don't even know what this is.
A secret
And
to hell that we discovered only by a journal that you were in possession of.
very true, but then we found your sister's bag.
A coincidence, I assure you, I wish was not true.
I'm not accusing you of anything. I'm not saying that
That's
you're
really
in
what it
on this
sounds
at
like.
all. Were
All
you
that-
looking for your sister?
What?
Were you looking for your sister?
Not intentionally. And it has been a while since I have seen her. But did not expect to find her belongings in this hellhole.
Oh, I'm sure not. I'm sure not. I'm just trying to. You have, since you found your sister's bag, it's the most out. If you have any knowledge of this at all, or any inkling, even rumors, I don't know. I haven't left the stupid estate since I got here. So if you know anything, even remotely, that would be a wonderful time to share.
Knowledge from an Erdenasi whose name is not even memorable means very little.
It's memorable to me. I would like to know.
I had heard the rumors. I had heard that there were nefarious things going on. But there was never enough evidence. There was never enough anything. He is a powerful man and he has done great things for the city. Evidently, he has done a great number of terrible things as well. I just want the truth to be known.
Absolutely. I would like to see if I think she's telling the whole truth or the partial truth.
Nothing but the truth?
Nothing but the truth.
Make an insight roll.
Okay.
Moira, you may also make one if you'd like to.
I believe her.
And since I am going over the bodies, do they all have similar wounds on them? Can I tell what if they were? I'm not particularly proficient in these kinds of things, but seeing them repeatedly and my eye for imagery, is there anything that I can tell about what was done to them, if anything was done to them?
Okay, sure. First roll that insight.
Natural 20 plus 8. 28.
Pretty good.
That's pretty good.
That's probably close to what you needed. Should I whisper this to her, Vanelise? Should I say it out
Sure.
loud? Okay. She's telling everything that she's saying is completely true.
Mm-hmm.
It's what she's not saying that concerns you.
Okay. Okay.
And I'll like an investigation check for that, determining the bodies.
Okay. Ooh, all right. 12.
It's hard to tell a lot of these what they died of. You imagine it was something internal. Maybe they starved or were suffocated. Some of them have gaping holes through their midsections that looks like it was pierced sharply by something.
Any like evidence of like intent? I mean, obviously it's all intentional, but any torture at all, or just
Just
neglect and the occasional stab? Okay.
It's more than a stab. It's like the holes are like this big.
Yeah. Well, impaled or neglect. All right.
I've stopped muttering at this point, and I make sure the boy is, as comfortable as I can make him while he's sleeping. And then I join Bobby in looking, and she points out like the holes and everything. And does this look ritualistic at all?
You can either roll religion, arcana, or history for this.
History.
Options.
It's all the same modifier.
That's what I was worried about.
Well, that roll wasn't bad. 17.
Hey.
For which one?
Arcana.
Okay. You know that there are certain aberrations that certain creatures that can do things like this. It's definitely not from a weapon.
Can you muse this out loud?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, that's not reassuring in
No.
any way
Not at all.
at all.
I can't help but think that it's some sort of sacrifice or some sort of. I mean, I've heard of like underground, like fighting rings, like underground coliseums. I'd never thought we'd be involved with it.
This is not underground fighting. This is not a ritual. This is a genocide.
This is wholesale slaughter.
How close are we to 10 minutes?
It's been about there.
Okay.
He will wake up on his own.
Oh, precious baby.
And then,
Here.
although we should probably move him at least somewhat away.
Dad? Mom?
I'm gonna go over to him and, kind of lean over and pat and be like, "Hello, love. I don't know where your parents are yet, but we're gonna get you out of here, okay? We're gonna make sure you're all right. But do you think you can hold your breath for a minute or two?"
I think so.
Okay. Right.
Is the monster here?
The monster.
Not at all.
Who is the monster?
They call him the Lonely.
What does he look like?
I didn't see him, but I heard him.
Are you sure it's a him? Is it like a person? Did he have a voice?
No, it's a monster. I guess the patriarchy just makes me assume that everybody's a boy.
Just sprinkle it in. It's fine. I like it.
It's fine. It's fine. It's good. It's great. So, all right. Okay. Well, then we're gonna get you out of here before it comes back. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
So as I'm going to look around and see if there's any place where anything could have. I mean, we looked and we didn't see any other points of entry, right?
Into this area?
Into this area, right? We
Correct.
didn't see anything. Okay. Well, let's hope that there's nothing swimming towards us when we exit. It's gonna be great. I'm going to get back in the water.
How tight? How tight is it? Like, could I have him hold on to me?
could
and
one
get
of
me
us-
through?
You could, if he's holding on to, yeah, you could swim him through, but then it's
Okay.
one at a time after that.
I'll have him do that then.
Okay, I'll go first.
Okay.
Is my hand still glowing?
Yes, it glows for an hour.
Okay, my hand is still
Basically,
glowing.
when Moira's hand goes out, we're screwed. Because it was lit right as we went in.
Okay.
Okay. Do we have any idea how long we've been under here?
Moira's hand has gone out.
Shit.
Okay, then all
You need to go.
right, here we go. Mm.
If
Are we going
if
out the way we
hurry-
came in, or are we
Yep.
taking the boat and seeing where that goes?
I'm gonna say once we get to the water, I say we like see if we hear anything. I'm a little afraid that they're gonna like catch on, that we caught on. So I kind of want to take the boat.
Technically, Jake is the only one that we need to worry about.
You guys pop up, you swim down, or swim underneath, pop up. Vanelise, you're the first person, you look up and you look around, and right after you, Moira comes up, and then right after you, Bobby, the three of you are greeted by the sight of people. The very first of which is highly recognizable as Lady Delaney. She's looking at you, arms crossed, smirk on her face, almost a proud look. Behind her, her personal guard have Jake and Kel in manacles. And she says, I've been waiting for you to return for quite some time.
We had a passenger.
I see that. Why don't you bring him up here?
Don't think so.
Oh?
No.
Is something
Ah.
wrong, Moira?
I'm not sure. Why don't you tell me exactly what was going on here? And I cast suggestion at level 3.
What's
Don't
a save on
lie.
that? What's a save on that?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Man, I was so into it.
Does it target more than one creature at higher levels, or is it... Also, can they willingly fail?
Let me see. Will you suggest an activity to a creature of your choice that you can see and hear and understand you? Limited to 2 sentences.
wisdom saving throw, and DC 15.
And then...
And
Okay.
it lasts for 8 hours.
Okay. The natural 9. What was the suggestion exactly?
I want her to tell me exactly what's been going on.
What's been going on here is that your father has been capturing slaves and sending them to the Undercity, into the Underdark. One of these creatures was a friend of mine, and I have been trying to hunt him down for it.
He's dead. You obviously accomplished it.
I did not accomplish anything.
You're saying you didn't poison my father.
I did not poison your father. I wish I had.
To a certain extent, so do I.
I was actually going to ask you the same question, Moira.
I didn't.
Would you
Do
like
I
to come up
believe
here and
her?
join us?
Do I believe her? Do I believe Moira? I mean, Mindy believes her.
You can make an insight check.
That's a 19.
I'm telling the goddamn truth.
Okay, that's what I figured. I just wanted to make sure.
Gosh.
She holds out a hand to help you up and out of the water if you'd like.
I'm going to take her hand first.
Okay. She helps you up.
I'm going to help the little boy up.
She picks him up and kind of sets him down on a barrel.
I'm going to stand real close to little boy.
Okay.
I'm gonna get up on my own and
I, for one, would love some help. I have not ripped off this dress. There's a lot of it. It's very light, very heavy.
Very heavy. I'm just floundering.
I am not very strong. And I absolutely
need
accept
the
her
cake
hand up. If she offers one.
Yeah, she helps you up.
I do a little wave to Jake.
He scowls.
Wait, there are only 2 guards in her possession.
The rest
her-
are detained upstairs. These 2 guards led us here.
how did you convince them to bring you here? And what was your purpose in coming down here?
I convinced them to tell me the same way you were convincing me to tell you right now.
Does a person know they're under suggestion when they're under suggestion?
I'm the dungeon master.
All right.
Don't
She
question
does
it.
now.
It's
Fair
good
enough.
for roleplay.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right.
Oh, gosh.
That's understandable.
Do you think that there is enough evidence at this point to know for the law, for the community, for the city to know that he was not the man that they thought he was? Is there enough that we can dismantle whatever this is?
To be fair, there's a door, secret door from his house, with a cavern full of dead and rotting corpses in it. With a bedroom that we can identify actively as his, I feel like. Yes. But I'm
Miss
not the
Roth-
investigator, sorry.
Miss Ross is correct. There is enough evidence here to convict him posthumously. Not in front of the community or the city, but in front of the entire realm for what he has done.
I assume you'll have someone stand in his stead.
Why would I do that? Unless you know of any of his accomplices?
I don't. But if you bring this to light in front of everybody, it will destroy my entire family's reputation. I will take the blame for my father's doing if you allow my brother and sister to remain maybe not ignorant, but safe from it.
Make a persuasion check.
$15.
She kind of tilts her head at you curiously. All of this for the man that killed your mother.
I know he killed her, but he's dead. There's nothing I can do about that now.
And he had a murderer. Still a crime. Miss Ross.
Hmm?
Do you know who killed Lord Rhys Abernathy?
I haven't the foggiest idea. Seems
I
like
believe
I
her.
would want to.
I need Bobby, roll and message me what you're rolling for.
Okay.
And
Performance.
roll insight.
Then I'm insight.
Yeah.
Nat 20.
God. No. I refuse. I mean, I rolled a 19.
Oh!
A 19!
Oh, that's great.
I refuse.
Is that the truth, Bobby?
Is what the truth?
That you don't know who killed Lord Reese Abernathy?
I mean, I have ideas.
Right.
I have ideas.
Well, the investigator believes you. So she turns to Vanelise. And she looks you right in the eye, Vanelise, as she says to you, "Do you know who killed Lord Reese Abernathy?"
I do.
Who killed him?
I kind of look at Moira, remembering what she said about how she would take the fall for her father for this shenanigans. And I look back. I did. And I would do it 1,000 times over. Even if it means I spend the rest of my days rotting in jail.
Why don't the three of you come with me? And that's where we're going to end the session. Good job, you guys.
That was fun.
We did it!
Yay! That was a good murder mystery. Were you surprised?
Kill him. How did you kill him?
I poisoned him.
So did I. Wait,
Fun
both
fact,
of
I
you?
gave everybody motive and I let everybody think they were gonna kill him.
I handed him his glass.
You did hand him his glass of his
did.
favorite wine that had already been poisoned.
Oh, the poison, triple poison. He would be double dead.
I was planning on it, but he died before I could kill him.
Could get to him.
Mm-hmm.
Bummer. I was real tired of being stuck in the stupid castle with the stupid guy. Just leave me the
That's
fuck
fair.
alone.
We all had solid motives.
Yeah.
By the way, I did know that my sister was dead.
Oh. Well.
I just got too into the scene to like pretend that like
That you.
and then once I was in it, I was like, oh, we're committed, here we go.
Idemir says, always blame the rogue.
I was really hoping that somebody would admit to it before I did. I was really hoping that Vanelise would at least like even lying say that she
I
did
don't
it.
know if she would have admitted it had Moira not made that offer.
Yeah, you guys really surprised me with that.
Yeah, no, Moira,
Is she-
she's the mistress of the house. It's,
Bye, Katie. Katie's got to run, but she says, thanks for the stream."
Like,
Um,
Katie.
What were you guys most, what was the best part of this one shot for you guys?
I love exploration. It's always fun for me. I love
Yeah.
poking through different places.
Did you like the dungeon?
Yes, I did. It was very good. You did very well.
Oh, thank you.
It's very good. Very good. Very good.
So, we're going to go ahead and end the stream right now. I am going to be on Discord on the voice channel for anybody who wants to come ask me questions. Any three of the players are welcome to come. I just do have to go take a bathroom break and like say hello to my partner and stuff. So thank you so much for watching and subscribing and following. You guys are humbling me, and Exciting me. This is all coming together so fast. I wish we could start the campaign for you sooner. Unfortunately, I'm wrapping up this other long-term campaign that both Caitlin, aka Bobby, and Mindy are in, and I've got to do them justice
Kathleen.
first.
I was
Kathleen.
like,
And Kate is in it too now. I forgot. Listen,
We've all been in at various stages. It's
We
fine.
did. It's
at
true.
various. There's a lot of people. It's
fine.
kind of crazy.
it's fine.
So they have a few more sessions, and they're epic level, so they're getting kind of crazy. Like I've said on some interviews in the past, we're really hoping to get our long-term campaign started around October 21st. I'm so looking forward to it because all of these characters are really amazing.
Really
if you want more
excited.
D&D content, and if you want to see Max, he hates me. If you want to see more pictures of my
He does.
dog or hear more about Dungeons and Dragons, feel free to follow me on Twitter at CamilleDoesDND. And you guys can go ahead and plug anything else that you'd like to right now.
And we'll get a permanent link for the Discord up soon.
Oh, it should. I
promise.
should already have the permanent link. I'll post that in the chat.
Okay. All right. Thanks for joining us, you guys. It was great. Thanks for all of your comments and everything.
It was so great. I'm Kate. I'm Kate's D8s on Twitter and Kate's and D8s on Twitch and Discord.
I'm Mindy. I'm MKAY1713 on Twitter. I guess technically on Twitch, but mostly Twitter.
I'm Kate at Very Pale Ale on Twitter, Twitch, PlayStation, everything in between. And because Camille likes it, I am both very pale and very bitter.
Hey. All right, before we go, really one last natural 20 pose. Bye, everybody.
Bye.